said, but I won't say it. What I will say is what happened on our last adventure of Lonesome West.
Penis and vagina.
Last Lonesome West,
not
we
what
left from Danger to Heijo to try to find means of getting Zoe back. We heard that the entire place was overrun. Not true. Only one portion of it was overrun.
It's only mostly overrun.
Yeah.
All these people, they exaggerate.
Yeah, we
cities
thought.
being overrun.
To be fair,
we
it's
thought-
what they heard.
We thought the Duke was in trouble, but he's actually fine in his palace. We tried to find means of working with him to get Zoe back from the Danger Lord, and we made a deal with him to get some diplomats and monks out of a what was it, North Quarter?
No,
Fourth
the fourth
quarter.
quarter is what it was
Fourth
called.
Quarter. Sorry.
That's okay.
We were able to get them out, almost dying. We had Aki's group and Summer's help in doing so, and
I helped a lot.
And we were going back to get our papers so that way we can go get Zoe back.
Yeah, Chomer, I helped a lot.
That being said, that is what happened. One thing that I need a rephrasal on, because as mentioned, I have tiny brain at the moment. What was the finalized agreement that you guys came to with regards to getting the diplomats and monks back?
We do this. We get.
We would get the letter for, to get Zoe back, and if we convince the little lord to have his troops march to war with the Duke, then we would get an added bonus of 2,760 gold, I believe,
And
as well
we
as
have
then getting a bit of land.
we have a permanent for the immediate mission. We get the papers to get Zoe back, and we get permanent passports.
Yes.
Gotcha.
For the entire group.
Gotcha,
For the
gotcha.
entire
gotcha.
group, including Zoe and she.
Z.
Oh yeah, Z.
Z.
As we determine Z.
Yes. That is a thing that you do. You are in Heijo, just beyond the walls where you had extricated your various diplomats and monks. They awarded you with their kindness in whatever way they saw fit. And what is the plan?
We're taking
Go.
back to the fucking palace, aren't we?
Yeah, go to the Duke.
That is a thing. Are you just straight up taking them there?
Yeah.
It's the safest thing to do, I think.
Monks, yeah.
Then, you do venture forth up the streets. The people who are accompanying you, namely the diplomats, seem to be quite well off. People recognize them. They are happy to see that they are safe. The monks are taken as well. You hear just general conversation saying that they'll be put up in the palace until they can find some other arrangement for their living circumstances, since they basically lost everything in their pagoda. That being said,
Including the pagoda.
the pagoda's okay. It just got destroyed by an elf. Half elf. That being said,
What do you mean destroyed by an elf?
listen, those beams aren't structurally sound anymore. You did clean them of dirt,
Neither are Ren's ribs, but you know.
That being said,
Off like a fucking champ.
you do enter the palace with much more ease than the first time that you came there. The monks thank you once more and then head off in their own direction within the palace, while the rest of you return to the throne room, where you are seen by Spider-Man.
No, he wants pictures of
Bring
Spider-Man.
me pictures of Spider-Man.
He's been waiting.
Wait, you gotta bring him up. You gotta bring him up for context for stream.
Right.
I was
Put him
really
there.
confused for like a solid 4 seconds.
Yeah, look at that man. Bring me pictures of Spider-Man.
Bring me pictures of Spider-Man.
Bring me pictures of Spider-Man.
Bring me pictures of diplomats.
Oh no.
Bring me
Bring me
pictures
pictures
of
of
monks.
monks.
Oh yeah, Diplomonks. I forgot about that.
I forgot that too.
Oh.
However,
Someone else talk. I'm tired.
The diplomats make their way away from you, greeting some of the other people of the court. And several of the knights make sure that they're not injured. They're not, and they take them all with profuse thanks, leaving the room as they exit. The king himself seems quite surprised, and he's just kind of like hunched over his throne arm. What the fuck is it called? Armrest, whatever it's called. With just like a sly grin on his face, seeming surprised that you guys were able to do this. Do you say anything?
I thrust at him while pointing my dick and like, ugh, get it!
God, no.
Don't do that, but I wish I could.
Another character.
Another character.
Were we supposed to
another
get like a
time.
letter to get Zoe back?
What was that?
Like,
Oh yeah.
wasn't he supposed to give us like a letter to get Zoe back?
Yeah, this is like,
Yeah, I
hey,
just
we
sorta-
just brought them back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rin just holds out his hand and is like, we'll take that letter now. Just sort of like holding his ribs.
Mm-hmm. He kind of nods to one of his attendants who goes to rush off doing a thing.
Sorry, Your Grace, we're very injured.
It is fine. The expeditious amount of ability you've shown certainly at least merits something. Here, I thought you might just be useless adventurers wandering around the countryside.
Fuck. Yes. God damn.
Why are you booing him? He's right.
What the fuck?
We have more worth than
Why would
words.
you say something so controversial? You get so
Well,
brave.
thank you.
Okay.
In due time, several of the attendants take you to the other side of the room as he handles some other affairs. They write out, and again, it was this is for your passports as well as...
Passports and the thing to free Zoe.
Yes. You are given a letter of declaration from the king himself. In reading it, they let you look over the text if you feel like it. It's basically just saying by order of the king, etc., etc., etc. And you do have proper documents that are given to you. They are sealed by the king's court itself. You are also given essentially 3 apiece per person who has been ordered to be given one by the agreement you made, and they say that they'll give you more permanent identification through courier in a few days.
Sounds lovely.
Good.
And we are still good to go with the other plan for if we get the Lord to agree. How do we just send you a courier being like, yes, we were able to get him to agree to it?
Who are you asking this of?
Just anybody who can give me an answer to that, essentially.
Probably the Duke or
I think we're
that
talking
one
to
guy
his
from-
hand.
If we're getting papers handed to us, I'm pretty sure we're talking to the minister.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm just asking,
yeah.
how do we get in contact with the city if we do get the Lord to agree?
Oh, don't worry. We'll be quite quickly informed. Any documentation and monetary gain that you would get from our little deal will be transported to you in due and proper time. Basically, right away.
Okay.
Should we ask about do we need papers like this when entering the Confederation? Because we are going to be hitting that pretty soon.
They don't. I mean, he might know.
I don't
but
think we gotta worry about anything there.
Wasn't
We don't have. Well, they couldn't give us papers. I don't think.
They couldn't.
I
that
can't
one
do
guy
my
who's
Chris
from the
voice.
Confederation?
I think we're going to South Formosa next anyways. Excuse me. I know that your lovely land up here in North Formosa is just absolutely the best. But do you know if there's the same travel restrictions in the southern part of Formosa with the passports, or is that not implemented there yet?
Despite the disagreements between the North and South, these passports should be sufficient. Until which time our forces march down there. Then we'll have full authority and you'll be perfectly respected.
I just want to know if you knew that they had like if they had a different system down there. Like if we say we traveled to South Formosa, would we have to get new passports there, or do they not require them?
They would require some documentation, but this should be sufficient.
Oh, okay, lovely.
Good.
Anything you'd like to ask of the minister or of the king, as you are still in his court at the moment?
I think I'm good.
Can I get a bottle of what's the famous alcohol here?
Oh shit! What's it called? Hold on, wait for it.
We have sake from Ezo. I have sake.
Hold on.
Are you collecting alcohol?
I am collecting alcohol.
What the? Soju.
Can I get just a bottle of soju? That's just something I want. It can be cheap.
He inevitably says, you should probably go to a bar for that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Can I get like a ticket saying free soju pass? Can I just
Give me a persuasion check.
Can I get a freebie? Yeah, just give me a freebie, bro.
I just did all this. I just want a bottle of 7.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know about the chief.
Oh, okay. I'll go talk to somebody about
If only I could have given you advantage.
Oh, yeah, let me talk to somebody
I don't
about
know,
it.
you didn't bring me pictures of Spider-Man, so maybe next time.
I don't see any of the Diplomonk pictures.
What do you need pictures? They're right there!
Can I
Wait, just
yeah,
a
never mind,
picture,
that's it. Yeah.
just like a silhouette picture of like Ren falling through the pagoda. It's like, I don't know if that's Spider-Man. Spider-Man would have been able to catch himself.
What was that, Summer?
Untrue.
Yeah, nothing, I'm good.
Okay. Anything else for the king or his ministers?
Nope.
Boom, bitch! Dick thrust.
Get out the way.
Just
Get out.
degeneration.
Harold also does a dick thrust
Get
and
the
you
fuck out of my way.
He does a dick thrust and like pops his hip out of place.
Oh no,
Ooh.
he needs that.
His pelvic bone just falls off.
No!
Don't actually count that.
That being said, you all are thus formally able to exit. There's all the histrionics that go about it, but you otherwise leave the palace and head back into Heijo.
Is Aki and Summer's group still like right out like around?
I'd say since it's late, they probably found an inn for you guys to all meet up at.
Guys, get ready for the hey, where's Kenji, Chisato, and Rika? Get ready for it.
They're gonna hit us, but I already know.
Yeah.
So
Alright, let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go to the fucking inn. I need to get drunk.
I want to sleep,
I do.
and I kind of want to puke more. I think I want to puke more.
You wanna puke? What?
Do you need Harold to hold your hair?
No, I can. It's fine. I'm okay.
His hair's not that long.
I mean, it is kind of
thought it'd
long,
be a
but
gesture. I've heard of people doing it at the parties at the universities.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Chris
has never been to a party.
I think those are called chads.
Ah, yes. Chads and Stacy's. Yes.
I think those
yes.
are called
Yes.
degenerates.
My secret
yeah,
is
we
went
meet
to
at
be in
tavern.
South College.
I want to take 5 levels into the Chad class.
It's too OP,
You already
it's not
have
allowed.
the level 1 into Paladin.
Oh yeah, I've already taken. I already have a level into it.
However, you do make your way over to the inn. You note that your rooms have already been paid for by the rest of the group. So you can sleep free and easy.
Oh, guys, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
we're
Good
just-
night.
Yeah, bye.
Ren's just getting a table and getting a bunch of drinks.
No, Lance will probably socialize.
Can I have some milk?
Yes. You are given
Yay.
some milk. Do you also, at the tavern, want to buy your alcohol?
I would like to buy some soju, please.
What kind of soju are you looking for in particular?
Just like
AKA expensive
The
or
city's-
just normal?
normal.
Yes. They'll be willing to part with a bottle for about 2 gold.
I can do that.
Ching.
One bottle
Let's go to
of
bed.
soju.
Harold's sitting downstairs next to Ren.
Wait, did Chris go to bed?
Yeah.
All right.
Harold's the one pouring the drinks for Ren. So
Yeah.
Odd's getting a very hard drink.
He's just like, he's saying like, what's up? Do you want to talk about it? But it comes out as...
I do the friend kind of like a back pat to Ren.
Just, you look at him and there's like 8 shot glasses piled on top of each other, just sitting beside him. Eventually, Harold's just like, I think you've had enough, and Ren's just like, I'll tell you when I've had enough.
He's just calmly cleaning one of the shot glasses as he says it, but he says...
He's not even actually saying anything to Ren's just hallucinating.
Well,
Are you drinking because of what happened, Ren?
Just sort of like, looks at you like half-lidded eyes and is like, what do you think?
Well, I'm here if you want to talk about it. I'm also here if you need a hug.
it's like a back pat / rub. It's like one of those like rub pats.
Before Chris goes to sleep, she's gonna send a sending to Zoe, and it's going to say, hold on. Don't know if you can, hear this, but coming back soon, with orders to release you.
You send it out, but you do not feel it connects.
Oh, great.
That's what I thought.
Oh yeah, she's in the play.
Yeah, I knew that was a possibility, but I was gonna do it anyway.
I didn't finish with Ren. I have a few more things to state.
You can use a sending stone in the morning.
Also, I'm sorry about the spat we had a few days ago. I shouldn't force my beliefs on other people, and you should feel however you want to feel. And it's okay to feel things. Just know that I support you, but I don't support the bad habits, ? I support whatever is good. I support the good. I support you. I
support you supporting the good.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
He
He doesn't support your stealing, but he supports you as a person and is like, I want to be there for you.
Yeah, it's like when you hug him, you know that like awkward bit where they just like their arms are like sort of spread out like behind you, and it's just like pat.
You have to pat Lance a few times to remember. You have to give him the like pat to let go. Like, all right, Lance.
I appreciate that. Please let me go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah.
I think both Odd and Ren are basically heavy drinking right now.
Harold is pouring drinks for both of them.
Does anybody want to play Dragon Chess? I have my set.
This is also the hardest you've probably seen Odd drink.
Chris is asleep. She ain't seen shit.
I'm also asking people from Aki and Summer School.
Anybody want to play chess?
Rosca will be wanting to play chess with you.
Rosca's a chess girl?
Chess girl.
Surprise.
I 17.
Let's see.
What modifier does that use?
Int.
Okay.
Ooh. You guys have a challenging game, and after an hour or two, while watching Odd and Ren drink themselves silly throughout the night, you guys come to an impasse where there is neither a winner nor a loser.
Stalemate.
A stalemate.
Oh, good game. Very well played. Very strategic.
I do it to come.
So,
I haven't had a big challenge for chess in a hot minute.
As have I. I have been mostly trying to train Dez to make sure he is proficient in chess in his best way.
It's very good to learn strategy.
You played with Chris and she beat you with no proficiency.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't say you had no challenging chess games.
Okay.
It wasn't challenging if he got stomped.
Yeah, it's not challenging. He's like, oh yeah,
You
I'm
got
real good.
so
Yikes.
do you
Chess
guys,
is very good at learning strategy.
so do you guys want to come with us when we get Zoe back, or have you got other plans?
We have no objective right now. And as long as everyone's fit and able, I don't see why we couldn't come back.
She hasn't seen you guys for a while. She's been worried.
Yeah,
She-
too. We had heard no word of you guys ever since you left Ezo. That's the last we heard.
Yeah,
It's been really rough.
it's
We've been making it that way.
a lot happened. Yeah.
Good talk.
I whisper over to them. Should I tell them you guys are kind of drunk? Should I?
Rin just says out loud, "What? The Kenji's dead?"
All of them just kind of stare at Ren.
Ah, yeah, I guess we're just saying it then.
Well, that's out the bag.
As somebody who is not partaking in the drinking, I can help explain if you would like.
Oh, hold on. Would that help? Intoxication?
No.
What about lesser?
Neither aid in intoxication.
I think
nor-
lay on hands does.
Lay on hands might.
If I argue if it gets rid of poison, then it gets rid of intoxication, but it's up to Chris.
I like there not being convenient ways to deal with both drunkenness and hangovers.
Long story short, mind you, we're all very upset about it. We've been grieving for a long time. Like it was horrible. It happened. Explains it was that shrine on the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
We fell down into the dungeonish area and we ran into a gloom. And Kenji sacrificed himself so we could all get away.
Yeah, everyone seems to be a bit more somber than before.
Mhm.
Oh, I was just gonna continue
Yeah.
about like what else happened.
And then the reason that Chisato and Rika aren't with us is because in that moment Chisato saw that that was the moment that she was meant to die, so she had me cut off her arm, and that happened, but she didn't end up dying there. Her and Rika got out fine, but after a few days Chisato kind of went into a mental state where she just wasn't really there except for a few minutes every day. Like she couldn't walk, she's just mentally not around. So she's back in insert city name here. We know the city, I forget what it's called. It's not Amori.
I thought it
It's a
was.
different one.
No, it's a city
No,
over by
it's one of
Ezo.
the shrine
Yeah.
city.
It's Niigata.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Niigata.
She's in Nagata, and Rika is looking after her there.
When you do mention that Chisato came to her moment, you do note that Summer and Aki both do a similar like movement with their hands that you see Zoe do all the time when she's praying, and they just kind of like bow their heads for a moment as you continue on with your story. Yoshi speaks up and says, "It was certainly interesting when we saw you traveling alone, although I figured it was one of Kenji's plans. He's always scheming about fastest ways to get across the continent. Sad to hear. He was a good friend."
We don't want it to be known that Kenji's not around. There's still that guy who's hunting down Zoe. We don't want word getting out.
We're only telling you guys because we know that you're people that Kenji trusted and Zoe trusts, but we are not prone we're not prone to telling too many other
This is
people
privileged
because
information.
yes, we learned that Kenji was somebody that was well respected by many people. Kenji was somebody who was feared by many people. Our run with Paseo taught us that. So we figured that if people were to find out that he wasn't around, it would make Zoe more vulnerable. So we have just decided to not talk about it whenever we run into situations where it has come up.
We can respect that.
We're mainly not talking about it just to protect Zoe, because people knew that Kenji was with Zoe, and we just fear that if they found out that he wasn't with her anymore, they might target her for some reason.
It's not a bad plan. There are people who don't necessarily see the value in what we're doing, especially this far west.
Mm-hmm. It's just something that happened, and I thought that you guys should know.
These things happen more than you know. It's very possible that any one of us may have numbered days. Just as a reminder to be careful in the things that we do as we continue our journeys.
But yeah, how have you guys been?
I got nothing for them.
You can ask them a variety of questions, and they'll basically answer anything you want. Is there anything in particular you want to know?
Summer.
Yeah?
Feels so weird saying my own name. Because I just never do it.
Oopsie. Didn't mean to do that. Boop.
I
Whoop.
heard
Old.
that I heard that your thread to Ikigai.
Yeah.
I just have some questions because I've been talking to them a lot recently and they keep giving me weird dreams.
I guess that's not too strange. All of the vestiges kind of speak in different ways, I suppose.
Yeah, I hear a lot of bells. Like 80% of the time it's bells.
It's part of the rituals that go along with the vestiges. You'll see that bells are a very frequent thing at most of the shrines that you'll visit. Even if they're small, it's a way for the vestiges to speak from the beyond.
I just wanted to get your input on a dream that the last dream that I had when I prayed to Ikigai. It didn't really make too much sense to me, but I just wanted to get your input as somebody who talks to them frequently, I guess.
She is willing to hear it out.
I explained in the last dream I had where it was just like a guy who has been like, he was more so like a spirit. Like, he was clearly dead. He had been serving that shrine for a long time. I was inside the shrine itself, like watching him light the fires to the different shrines. And just like that very like somber tone of like, he had been dead for a long time, but he was still taking care of that shrine. Kind of dream. Like, what do you make of that? It was my first time like being inside the shrine. I don't know if all of the shrines look like that on the inside.
Most don't. That is probably more standard of just a simple one that's actually used for religious purposes. The larger shrines that we tend to visit tend to be more out of the way. They tend to be built a very long time ago. That's why there's not a whole lot of decoration left to them. They've probably been looted several times by thieves and such, who might stumble upon them. Nevertheless, for the dream that you described, I would imagine that it was some sort of servant to Ikigai himself, like you think. For clarification's purposes, what else did you want to know?
I was just adding like, also, Ikigai pointed me in the direction of a reader that's traveling with us now. That was pretty neat. I feel kind of bad for him though, because Ikigai like put me inside of his head, and it kind of scared him.
You shouldn't
Because
feel
when he
bad
looked
for
in-
that.
But he looked in the mirror and he saw me. Like, it's kind of startling when you look in the mirror and you don't see your own reflection, so I can kind of understand that.
Anything the vestiges do aren't, on the up and up, as you would say. I've definitely had my fair share of weird visions and experiences.
Oh, Pepper, goddamn.
Oh yeah, if you didn't like get that. Yeah, we're traveling with the reader now too. He's very nice. I'm sure you guys will like him.
I'd be very interested to meet him.
His name is Z. It was she, but then we changed it because, you know, it's kind of confusing. He's lovely. And that's really it. I'm just gonna sit here and drink my milk.
Yeah. Does anyone else want to talk and or learn anything from the other threads?
Not really.
Sassie's okay.
Also, can I say something I have, like,
That was
really
so
weird
brilliant.
written in my notes?
Uh-huh.
Dude's name was Jason that we met in the waiting room. That's just in my notes and I'm not sure. Oh, I know the context. It's Hazard. That's what it is. Dude's name was, I just like, all it says was, dude's name was Jason. I'm like, oh, okay.
Thanks, past me.
Things passed me. His name was Jason.
Jason!
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 Jason Derulo.
Shut!
No.
That being said,
Wait.
if you have no business with them, they are going to retire for the evening.
Good night. I go.
Just doesn't even make it to the like a step away from his chair, just passes out on the floor.
Make sure to get.
He's
some
like a
water
horse,
before he passes
passes
out.
out standing up.
Yeah.
Asleep on the roof, same as usual.
Give me an acrobatics check at disadvantage.
You're drunk.
Fuck it. Man, I've had good. Fun
Hope you
fact:
fall through the roof again.
up until last session,
Falls into
had
odds
not
roof.
failed an acrobatic check. Well, my mouse just stopped working.
I
That
feel
was
that.
neat.
Harold eventually
16.
comes upstairs and sits in the corner of Chris' room and sleeps.
Mhm.
Her quotes.
Air quotes.
Quotes.
Yeah, Ren, you're able to get up there. There is one part where you're going along the shingles at the topmost part of the roof, and one or two of them almost come out at the same time, but you're able to grab your handhold again. You have that drunk moment of just like, oh, well, that could have been bad.
I feel like he realizes it when he just plays it off as fucking shoddy workmanship, and he just climbs up to the fully up onto the roof.
Man, whoever's room is right underneath that roof is probably going, what the fuck?
The only sound that
Damn
happens
cats.
is there's just like the crashing of
obvious.
like porcelain or whatever. So you should.
Yeah, 'cause these are definitely like porcelain tiles.
Well, if it's hockey, then I need a perception check.
I don't think he. I
He
don't
does
think he cares.
in the confines of his own room. They're very loud.
That being said, everyone retires in their own individual ways. Ren, you awaken, getting slightly sunburned on the roof, to the loud noises coming from the street. Everyone else, wakes up fine. I need a con save from Odd and Ren.
Okay.
Hangover.
Hey!
Oh!
What's
You
a
ain't
hangover?
Chris today. You ain't Chris today.
Yeah, Ren, you are worse for wear. Odd, did you drink? You forgot.
That's the first time Odds ever drank heavily, and the party would know this.
I mean, no one's gonna judge you, but Ren, he's a habitual drinker in his own way, but it was not the most ideal night to him. The night did not treat him kindly.
When Odds knew to be wasted, and he's perfectly fine waking up.
You wake up to some twigs in your hair as a bird tried to use it as a nest.
Can can I read Lay on Hands to you and see if this would fix like a hangover, Chris?
Sure.
Blah 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 blah. You can cure multiple diseases and neutralize multiple poisons with a single use of Lay on Hands. That's what it says.
Gonna say no.
Okay.
Gonna say no.
It just fucked anytime you decide to divulge into liquor.
Yep. Just like real life.
Wowie.
Know your limits, kids. Drink responsibly. This is brought to you by
Fuck you
Heineken.
You can't make me.
Fuck you did.
Drink responsibly when you reach 18. Or no, 21.
Depends on where you live.
Probably know where you live.
Yeah.
Reminds me, I was helping an old woman pack her house. This 91-year-old woman. I opened one of the drawers in her big chest of drawers, and I saw a bottle of Southern Comfort. And I'm like, Marilyn, you want me to pack this? And she just laughed. I was like, I'll take it. And I'm like, all right.
She didn't trust you. She was smart not to trust you.
No, I think Maryland's about to have a good time.
No, I mean, there was like a third left in there. I'm like, if I've heard good things about Southern Comfort. You go, girl. She was a spunky little old lady. I love her. I want to adopt her.
How
Let's
much?
fucking
That's not
go
the way
back to that
adoption works.
city.
No, she's my new grandmother now.
Yeah, so I just sort of climb down to like meet the rest of the group, just sort of groaning. It's like, so what's the plan?
Head back? Question mark.
You look like you got hit by a
Chris,
horse.
what- I mean, he looks the same as he always does, just sort of like head leaned back against the wall, just
Still got
sort
the
of
bird's
like
nest in
not
your hair.
paying attention.
Do you need some
He
water?
has a beanie on. What do you mean?
That's what Chris said. You had birds trying to nest in your hair.
This man has a beanie on. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ren, do you want a piggyback ride?
I want to forget yesterday ever happened.
Do you want to sit on my shoulders? Do you want a piggyback ride? You'll be up really high. It's a good vantage point.
Let's go
Yeah,
to
sure.
Yeah!
Dijon.
It turns out that when Zoe's not around, Ren is the next in line.
Let's go. Dejong, yeah. Dejong, yeah, that's the name.
Lance has
Donjay?
like an order
Donjay,
of who
fucking
he
hell.
tries to be cute to.
That's what I said.
I don't know Korean. Well,
It's
I was
No, you-
Zoe,
you all said
she,
Dijon.
then it's Ren, then it's Chris, then it's
Dijon
Odd.
mustard.
Yeah, let's go to Dijon mustard.
Are Aki and Summer's group coming with us, or are they
Yes.
splitting?
That's what they said.
would.
Oh boy.
Can I ask Summer if I
Oh.
can braid her hair?
Ren,
She denies you on that one because her hair is too small. But if you wanted to take a moment, Aki allows you to braid his, as he has the small little braid.
Hell yeah.
oh, does he have like the hiccup braid?
You can
Like
see it like right there, yeah.
The
He's-
second movie?
He's
Yeah.
a fucking hipster if I've ever seen it.
There he is.
Ren?
No, what, Chris?
Could you sending Z Dog and tell him
boy Z-Dog!
tell him we're coming back and we can get Zoe back and we're coming with Aki and Summer.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He just like fumbles into his bag of holding. He's like,
You drop your
I
sending
tried-
stone a few times and you're like, God fucking...
I tried sending her
Wrong
last night,
sending
but I
stone.
don't think it went through, so just have him tell her.
yeah, I'm gonna send. I'm gonna send.
Oh
to
shit! And she doesn't say
Hey.
shit. She says, "Oh shit!" and she runs out. I'm gonna leave so I'll meet you guys outside. And she's gonna run out with Harold, and she's gonna go recast Animate Dead.
So, look at Zoe.
What'd you do,
Ooh,
Sel?
also, when we get there, as much as I think you two want to see Zoe, you can't go with us to pick her up.
Okay, I'm sure it's some legal stuff or royal stuff.
She'd get angry.
Kinda.
Why would she get angry?
Hmm.
She's in.
She won't
She's
want us
in
to say.
uniform. Oh, I'm not
She-
there.
She's in a special uniform.
Simultaneously, basically everyone around the table that I assume you're talking at just kind of like looks at each other.
Odd elbows. Lance, you shouldn't have said that.
I
Say
think
nothing
it's
to her.
fine as long as they don't see it.
Just say nothing to her about it. She wants to put. all
Say
this-
nothing for the sake of me, please. She'll murder me.
For the sake of all of us, I'd say.
They all nod.
She'll murder
Hold
us.
on, Chris. I'm gonna DM you this sending.
Mhm.
Look, she's small.
There's
but
a
she's
part at the
scary
end I don't
Listen.
want to say out loud.
Listen, Summer and Aki have seen more.
Well, we don't know about Summer, but Aki, absolutely.
Can they have s-
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind.
They all intermingle. It's fine.
Understood.
Just the bit at the end, I just didn't want to. Just don't worry about it.
Are we ready to go then?
You get your response. How would he respond? Actually, he'd probably just give like an affirmation that you did it. So, like he says, nothing
He-
important.
Just
Okay.
okay.
You just respond with like a cry friend. Yeah,
Alright. Are we
cry
ready?
hand. Yeah, that's the one.
Hold on,
Anybody
Zeph,
got your stuff to do?
I'll send you what I sent.
If you are prepared, you can head out.
I told them to meet me outside
Yeah.
with Harold,
We
Paul, and Dan. Oh, I don't know how the other group feels about undead.
I just took a DNA test. Turns out I don't care what you are. You're still going to hell.
Same.
Wow.
That's a tweet from Satan.
Oh yes.
I love the
Shut up,
Satan
Zoe.
Twitter. The Satan Twitter is great.
That being said, do you have any
In
other
this
business
moment,
in?
Ren is
Do you have any other business in Heija before you leave?
Did we wanna look and see if there's a magical
told
items we
about-
wanted, Troll?
Yeah, we were
a
told
lot
about
of their magic items are requisitioned.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But I thought they said there was a pearl of power here. For odd.
That's what someone heard.
Yeah, did you
Never
want
went
to check
to
anyways?
You
We
never
never
went to find a
checked.
magic shop.
I could look
Could it hurt
towards
to
some of the other avenues to see if there's stuff there.
Oh yeah.
Like a different road.
Let's just check. Let's just check.
It wouldn't
We're
hurt
still
to check
here,
real
let's-
quick.
Check.
It would
How
take,
much
like,
money did we get?
20 minutes.
We haven't gotten any yet.
We haven't gotten
we haven't
any
gotten
yet.
any yet.
Gotta do an
Oh,
extra
okay.
thing for that.
Oh, okay. No. I got.
God, I hate you. So,
I'm right,
so are we checking the regular magic item shops, or do we want to like go to the black market?
I would do both. I would not show that to Karist or Lance.
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I can't take these squares to the cool kids club.
It's fine. Free. Join the club.
Are you indeed heading to a magic shop?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you wind your ways through the busy streets. You do get, like, the consistent, what is it? Discomfort that's in the air, along with the smoke that also passes through it with the wind that takes it down the alleyways and just kind of chokes your breath as you go. Nevertheless, you do come to a magic shop. You are correct in noting that some of the supplies have been requisitioned by the army. But it still seems to be a healthy shop. It seems the shopkeeper was paid their fair dues, at least for some of the stuff that was taken. The question being, what are you looking for?
More sending stones.
God damn it.
How much were each set of sending stones again?
They were like 100 gold.
No, that
Oh
was like.
shit!
I thought,
I
one
thought
pair
it was
like
less.
5.
I think they were like 70 to be exact, but I usually just round.
Oh, I definitely don't have enough for those.
They have one pair of sending stones left, and that's it. They would charge 200 gold for it.
Whew.
They mentioned that was one of the first things that got requisitioned. They're like, please give us something.
Portable hole, maybe.
Sure, I'll take it.
You do it, ching. They do have a portable hole.
Oh. How much?
That is a good question. What is their rarity?
I think it's rare.
Rare.
And upper end of rare is 5,000?
I got it. Uno momento. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 500 to 5,000.
You hit me with anything above 1,000, I'm probably hurting.
It's above 1,000.
Yeah.
I'd say 4,000.
No. Pearl power.
Pearl power. Yes, yes, yes. I need to review it.
I can just tell you what it does.
Yeah, but it helps me to read. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Uh-huh.
100 to 500 though for price.
Yeah. They do indeed have a pearl of power. They are selling it for 700 gold.
Ooh.
That's uncommon, Lord Jesus.
What? An uncommon item they're selling for 700?
Yup.
Inflation, my guy.
Honestly, do you want to wait until we get to the other capital that's like not being invaded?
It's going to be invaded.
It's going to be invaded.
going to
I
be
mean, I don't
invaded,
think
but
it's gonna
not.
be invaded by the time we get there. I don't think it's gonna be invaded in that short amount of time.
Oh wait.
Fair?
I have 800, but I'm not doing that.
I mean, we're about to get 800 more. You could run back to the palace and be like, "Hey, instead of my money, can you send me this pearl?" If we do it, because we
No.
get 800 each.
I'd rather the money.
Okay. Like, this is what we get if we do the Lord thing. I wrote that down from when we discussed it.
I think of things a bit more. This is gonna sound bad. I think of things very intelligently, and this I put money over items any day.
Okay.
You should do that in real life too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
I do the exact same thing in TFT. It's worked out quite well.
Here's Summer just awkwardly laughing, looking at all her new
I know.
commissions.
He wants a hug.
Tap, tap.
Dust of Disappearance.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I
Yeah,
forgot.
don't hear that very often. I think I've only experienced it like once in a session ever. They do have some Dust of Disappearance. It is 500 gold. Wow.
100. Okay.
500 for perspective, in case I didn't say it right.
Yeah. Now I need to ask about one more item before I decide on that. Cape of the Montebank.
Cape of the Mountebank.
What?
Or
Oh.
Mountbank?
I do have one.
That's cool, isn't it?
Montebank?
I think it's Mountbank.
Mountebank?
Mount, I don't know. Depends on how you want to say bank.
Montebank.
It is a
is what I said.
rare. Basically
Oh, yeah,
dimension
the
door
thing I
once
can
a
do.
day.
Rolling for this one at disadvantage. I am not sure if they have. They do not have it. Sorry.
Okay. Actually, I might have the money to buy both of these. A movable rod?
Oh.
Was that a no?
No, it was an O. They have an immovable rod. They'll sell it for 600.
I'll take both of them and I'll have to trade in a couple gold trade bars.
That is the thing you do. You head over to the bank first, get those all traded out for their appropriate amounts of money, and you can do as you please.
I have an item that I would like to know if they have it. Probably don't have the money to buy it. Headband of Intellect. Uncommon.
It's the one that raises your int to 19.
Yeah.
They do not. Sorry.
Oof.
Cloak of protection.
I was gonna give that to Chris and wait, no, you're at a 4 mod now, aren't you?
It wouldn't change anything with Chris.
Okay,
Yeah,
it
no.
would only change stuff for me. Oh.
Alright. Down to 3 gold trade bars.
I'm just out here and I'm just like, I am an int caster, but man, do I not want to up my int anymore.
Chris, ye old cloak of protection.
They do not have it. They also mentioned that it was one that was requisitioned by the army.
Yeah, okay.
Wait a minute. Okay.
Anything else?
I'm looking. I don't think.
I'm good. I've got my 2 memes.
I'm good.
Ooh, wait. Deck of Illusions.
Hmm.
I remember that.
I remember that. We have one of those. Or we
Yeah.
had one of those. No, we do have it.
Yeah, Maul has it. He just
Really?
doesn't ever use it because it's kind of a dumb item.
It really is.
I mean, it's good at distracting
come-
people.
I can come up with good.
It's a good item. It's just not a good item.
Not a great item.
For
This is the
your
lowest
guys'
gold I've been in
department,
so
however,
long.
me, I could come up with good ideas.
They do have one. They'll sell that for a good question. Hold on.
500 max.
Just for a good question, I can come up with one of those.
They'll sell it for $350.
Not bad price.
Not really not bad.
How many cards are in it?
Oh, that is a good question.
I think
Because
it has
Because that I will, if it's a low amount, I'm going to haggle the price.
Let's push it up to 400 because it has the full deck.
A full deck.
Ooh!
Okay.
For 400 though.
Removable rod. Wait, an immovable rod is an uncommon item, right?
I'd be willing for that. Yeah, I'll take a deck of
I
illusions.
thought the
for
high end
400.
of uncommon was 500.
It is. High end of uncommon is 500. They jacked it up.
Oh, true.
I'm gonna-
I'm watching
What are you
these-
eating, Chris?
Huh?
What are you eating?
Cliff Bar.
Mmm.
Macadamia
eating-
nut.
I'm eating
I didn't even know this thing still
squash
existed.
and
Great.
cucumber.
I have chips and salsa. Also, I
There's gonna be a lot of seeds in my poop.
I took the deck,
I've
Chris.
got depression.
I have 2 almost empty bottles of water.
Ooh wee.
I have half a glass of tea.
However,
My business is done here.
If anybody finds me a headband intellect, let me know.
If I see one, I will let you know.
They're pretty cheap.
hey, did
though.
you see that guy on the road? He had one.
Oh shit.
That being said, any other business in Haja?
I'm
Nope.
good.
That is the case. You, Summer, and Aki's group all gathered together. You meet Chris on the outskirts of town. Chris, did you need anything? Like, I'm sure you could sending someone and let them know.
Yeah, no, anything that I would want, they probably don't have.
Understood. Then they meet up with you and your buddies, and you head back on the road back to the east, back toward Dongjae. You know the route already. It's the simple route east. You tend to be following the large caravans of people leaving the city now, heading back up into the mountains and squirreling around the various winding roads that are there. Do you do anything on your trip?
Just socialize. Ask the group where we want to go next if we are going to the Elven Village, just to make sure.
We don't
Jerry's
really
not
have to-
here, but I assume it's a yes from
Hi.
him.
Uh,
Sure.
While we're on the road, I'm gonna take out one set from each of the sending stones I have both pairs of. I'm gonna toss one to Aki and one to Summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna say, in case you ever need to get in touch with us again, and well, I'm sure this will be a pleasant surprise for Zoe once she finds out about them.
That'll help a lot. We never really get to talk to many other threads unless we meet with them.
You can talk all the time with those.
Well, once a day.
Well,
Or
yeah.
technically twice, I think, if both use ascending once. But yeah, it'll be good to keep in touch with friends.
Yes. Lance asked the question of the group.
Yeah.
We're going to elves after this, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Need to track down a lead.
I'm just making sure.
I believe this is the general area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
I've got nothing for a day thing, but at night, during one of the nights of going there, I would have done something.
Mm-hmm.
Odd would have found a good. I assume we would have walked through a forest at one point.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so Odd would have found a very dark part of the forest, laid out the inks he bought in front of him, holding the prayer beads, and would cast, or ritual cast divination.
And as a reminder, what does that do?
I asked a question that, concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days, and we talked about. You said I could do 7 days backward as well.
It's the same thing as the teacup.
Okay. Sure, you do this. You take your time to step away from the group. You cast the spell. It is active.
Ren was told a certain god had their eyes on him. Are you the god that was spoken of?
No.
Oh, that takes one out of the equation.
I
That is
saw
a-
that
Easiest
cherry.
spell
I see
ever.
that cherry.
Easy spell.
Cherry, your mic. Look at it go!
I see
Look
it!
at it go! Look at it go! It's a strobe! Oh, there it stopped.
Well,
Oh, no, there you got it!
the goddamn Jerry, stop. Stop so that way I can talk to you. Yeah. That same night, Odd would pull Ren to the side away from the three groups, and so I just got done with Yami. It's not him. Or them.
Well, then I have absolutely no idea who could have any possible interest in me. But whoever it is needs to explain themselves, and he's just sort of kind of like looking up and around. Because honestly, I'm tired of being played with by the gods.
I get that. I don't think I can help you on this one, but if you ever
Whoever it is out in
need
time.
someone,
Oh, it's Fortuna.
what'd you say?
Hmm?
What'd you say?
I said, he said, we'll figure whoever it is out in time.
Yeah. I'm around if you need me for it.
It's also a factual statement.
Yeah, and I only had one set of inks for one question.
Also, on these nights that we do have to camp,
Mhm.
Lance takes a long time, like, on his walks, like, an extra, like, 2 hours. Like, it's a significantly longer time.
Uh-huh.
Probably coming back with, like, some bloody knuckles.
Mandarin
Sorry, I
doesn't
was
notice
about to
he's
sneeze.
drinking.
Lance probably comes back with some bloody knuckles every night. It's fine.
Oh, I need to reduce those bottles of sake that I have.
But hold on, I'll see if I even see it.
He's not trying to hide
Oh,
it.
shit. Yeah.
Yikes!
It's not like he's trying to hide it. Like, if he does anything near the fire or anything like that, like, he isn't wearing his gloves for that, so.
Why are your hands like that?
Hmm?
What happened to your hands?
I was punching a tree.
Why?
That's how I get my anger out.
I play Minecraft.
God damn it. Oh, what are you angry about? You alright?
Oh, you know. My city. You know.
Oh,
Being
right.
occupied by an enemy state. I'm not very happy about it.
I can tell. I can't say much for what was it, Aggie and Agate and the king and queen, but at least you know Niles is okay and your prince, we're going to get him back.
Mm-hmm.
Just things will be fine, friend. Trust me.
Thank you.
And it's best not to channel your anger in ways that would injure yourself. It's only injuring your goal, says Yoshi.
Oh, don't worry, I can just do this, and then I heal. I do lay on hands, so my hands, I like touch my handsies, and it's like,
My
look,
nod
boop,
was
boop,
a second away from healing wording.
boop, boop, look, they're good.
It's good that you can fix your problems, but as you've just said, your problems seem to run a little deeper.
These things can be worked out given time.
This much I know. I too was invaded in my time.
Oh.
Very long ago, Opales wished to expand into the Confederated territories. My town was in between. Of course, I wasn't...
I gotta make sure.
Where at?
Oh, yes! Lance does speak Opaline. Wow, he'd ask her in Opaline which town.
She replies, Rosca replies in Infernal, fuck that foul language.
Oh.
I laugh.
I don't know what she said, so...
It sounded mean.
Two of us do.
She's not a fan of whatever you just spoke.
Oh.
My village had been around for over 200 years. We were nomadic. We took care of ourselves between there and Anatolia. But when Opales decided that they wanted to take this region of the Grens away, well, we were just in between. We did not care who they killed.
I thought she was saying that she was from Opales,
She is.
but the Grens is a
She's on this, like, in-between line right here.
mm-hmm.
Basically, Opales moved this way, and they were in between. But remember, she is a tiefling, so...
Oh, yeah.
She probably lives outside of the traditional norms of society.
Yeah.
But that is what she says to you.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Is that what you say to her?
No.
Understood. Wow.
That's my dog throwing a bone on the hardwood floor.
Wow. Does anyone have anything else to say to the group while you travel?
No, let's go get our girl.
All I have
I
is
feel like
this
we should
this meme I put
probably
in
duel
D&D.
with Aki before we meet back up with Zoe, but you know.
No, you gotta kick his ass in front of Zoe to prove a point.
Yes, my dominance.
What were you saying, Ren?
God damn it, I just looked at the freeze meme.
Okay.
Aki had promised me a duel when we hit the mainland.
Sure. Y'all have a duel. Let's act it out later, because that's just easy.
You gotta do it in front of Zoe.
Do it in front of Zoe. You gotta prove you're dominant.
Wow.
Assert yourself.
Yeah, if you'd like to hold it off till later, you can.
Okay, fair play. See, there's an upside and a downside to doing it in front of Zoe. If I do it in front of Zoe and I win, I've embarrassed Aki. If I do it in front of Zoe and I lose, I've embarrassed myself.
Fucking do it.
I kind of want to beat the shit out of him too. Not gonna lie.
Whoa!
Why?
Whoa!
I just think it'd be fun.
This is a friendly duel.
There's a difference
I
between.
know I'm kidding.
I think that's bullying. Somebody's
No,
been
it's
bullied, right?
testing.
Is Lance a Chad?
A little bit.
When are we gonna duel, Ren?
Never.
Penis
Take off your
jousting.
armor. Take off your armor. No,
No,
armor,
I'll be naked
no clothes.
without it.
I don't want
Yeah,
to.
you have clothes.
I'm
No,
not a healer,
I'm
I'm a healer.
naked.
No,
Alright.
you're vulnerable.
No, I'll be naked.
We go to. Fuck, what was the name again? Hey, Adonje.
You do indeed venture on your way back to Dongjae, arriving morning or a day and a half after you set off.
Let's go get our girl.
As we're just sort of walking, I just sort of pull Odd to the back of the group and I just say, "Hey, so are you done for teaching that little lord a lesson tonight?"
What do you have in mind?
Well, if he was an adult, I'd kick his ass. But he's a kid and kids can be taught, and well, fear is generally a very good teacher for a kid. You know, tales of the boogeyman and such. So I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, I sneak into the castle and give this kid a little bit of a scared straight sort of issue.
I don't like the idea of that because I get it. You have a disguise. But it's be very coincidental that we come here, get our friend, leave after being very angry with them, and then all of a sudden, that happens.
Why would we do that when we've gotten our friend back? Think about it. That's logical. We've
Yeah.
gotten what we've wanted and we've gotten out of here.
It's logic, but it can also be stupid, and people are stupid.
I don't think that's the jump that people would make. I think they would just consider it some common rate.
I'm sorry, this is just Ren right now.
It also, I don't think anything like this would have happened. Like that would have happened until we came to town.
Plus, there's also the matter of this is a castle, and quite frankly, I'd like to relieve them of a little bit of their resources so that our trip can be a bit easier.
If you want to pluck some coin from that place, I'm not gonna stop you. But don't mess with the kid.
I'll keep it in mind.
I don't agree to this at all because if you get caught, I don't want to lose a friend. But if you're so
I
hell-bent
mean,
on it,
I'm not going
I'll
to
give
get
you the
caught.
blessing.
That's why I have this. And he just holds up the dust of disappearance. They can't catch what they can't see.
I'll give you a boost, but that's the best I can do.
That's all I'm asking for, brother. And just claps him on the back and goes to catch up with the group.
That is indeed what you do.
On the way there, can I stop by the post?
Yeah, once you get through customs, you show your new emblems,
Passports.
that allow you to freely travel. There is zero scene. You just go straight through. Just zoop.
Ooh, yeah.
That being said, you can drop by the post.
Anything for me? I'm just here, like, I'm in and out, like, I gotta be fast. He's, like, doing the, like, standing jog. I'm just, quick. I gotta go. I gotta catch up with my people.
Go do that. We'll meet you at the palace.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna read whatever if I have anything. I'm just
mansion.
gonna get it really quick.
As it is, you do have a letter. Lance, correct?
Yes!
And I'm just trying to do the diddle. Excuse me. Beep. It is in your notes, or in your letter section.
Oh, I thought you were DM me.
Jerry, how many of those sending stone sets do you have?
Let's see here. I have the one with Rika. I have the one with Perrin.
No,
I have the-
not being used.
None,
Oh,
I think.
none.
None? Shit, alright.
He just bought that extra pair and then gave them away.
Let's go!
All 4 sets are being used.
Alright.
But are you prepared? Or do you have any other business in town?
Yep.
I would have asked the other two groups to just meet us at the nearest tavern.
Yeah. They find
Once we get
a
it back.
comfy spot in the tavern. It's like midday, so they don't even take out a room. They're just gonna like hang out.
Yeah. And then I guess we're good to go get her back.
That is a thing that you can do. Zoop bobbity boop.
Ping.
Play. I don't
Ping.
want this song. Ich. What is
Now,
this song?
should we bring up the sending troops down there first, or should we get our friend back first? This is a good question. I recognize this.
I think we should get Zoe out of there
Oh, yeah, it's just
and tell him about the
yeah.
Duke.
Get our friend back, and then maybe I'll cheer him up that he's actually getting something he wants out of that war.
Also, you do meet Z at the tavern. He says everything's
Yeah.
going fine, nothing's going weird.
Yay!
Yeah,
I'm
you
Pet
would have been
Wraith.
with us.
Wraith purrs vociferously.
Vociferously. What the fuck does that
And
mean?
then I leave him with Z Dog and go with the group to the castle.
That is the thing you do.
I leave Harold with
I
Z.
collect my sending stone from she.
Yeah, he
Jared,
passes it
I'd
off.
really like it if you had actually taken a long rest.
I should probably fix my HP, shouldn't I?
You just haven't slept in all of this journey.
Oh,
I
God.
reset everything.
Not at all.
I mean, I like the idea that
You're at,
Ren's
like,
been
half
drinking himself
speed.
so much that he's getting the long rest, but he's not actually like recovering. He's just fucking miserable.
A beautiful quote from our dear friend Niles. The triad be praised.
I fucking hate him.
Oh, the triad be praised. Also, get this fucking Duke out of our compendium again. I hate him.
Yeah. I'll move him in a bit.
He is an asshat.
Run.
Just one Spider-Man picture.
Spider-Man.
You guys are formally announced, and all the formalities are taken care of. And Minister Rose says, "Welcome back. What can we do for your pleasures this time?"
Mr.
I
Minister,
just said
we have papers for you.
Yeah, and I just extend it.
Yeah, he goes over, he accepts them, he reads them, and basically is like reading it verbatim so the whole court can hear, basically saying that the Honorable King of the North, of Northern Formosa, dictates that the new, what's the word? Fuck, what's Zoe? What's she right now?
Concubine.
Concubine. The new concubine taken on by Lord Yonsan is now to be returned to her independent life, etc., etc., etc. Yes. Everyone seems like throughout the hall is just like basically the witnesses, and they all just kind of nod in response to the reading. And the Lord hops out of his chair. "No, that's not how this works." The mother kind of like grabs upon him. Now, sir, it is the order of the king himself, and we must be willing to work with said king on all matters and affairs. Isn't that right? As someone in such a high position as you. He just kind of like walks over to you, just kind of like eyeing you down, but he's like chest height, so he's not really doing that. And then he just kind of like huffs back to his chair and like flops in. He just waves a hand. The captain nods, then nods to you as the group, and he heads out into the back chambers.
Lance, do you want to bring up the marching to war, or do you want me to?
I can do it if you want me.
I mean, it is whatever.
He was interested in me before because Knight, so
I just wanted to be a little shit about it.
No, I don't think that's the right
DMs.
thing. Well, your lordship, I know this is a rather turned point of events, but if it does excite you, the king is very interested and excited to go to war, and he would love to see your troops over in his city to help rally the support to head to such a war. I remember you saying that you were excited for that.
You hear some gasps here and there throughout the room, and he's Lord Yonsun just kind of like perks up and says, "Of course I am. Why wouldn't you want to go?" Then the lady of the house kind of like interrupts him. Now, can we have any formal documentation on this that you're asking?
Did we have any?
You were presented with the other king's orders.
I present them.
Yeah.
Minister takes those as well. He does the same thing in reading out to the hall, and he says, it says, by order of the king of North Formosa, it has been declared that Lord Yonson, as well as his troops, must be mustered for the engagement with the South in a combat of the centuries. You hear just more murmured like gasps and shocks throughout the hall.
Are these people cool with it or no?
They just seem surprised that this is happening.
Okay.
Do you say anything else?
Would you be interested in sending your troops over to help him with this war? I'm sure it'll be a great battle.
The lady says, "We would not." What are you talking about? You have no power here. She immediately turns to him, stepping out of her chair, just smacks him upside the face.
Yes! I love you.
The whole hall is just like falling silent after that, and she takes several steps forward. I accept that the king has his own wishes, but it is the wish of this house that Lord Yonson and his troops will not muster.
Is there a reason?
Because I do not want my son to die in a futile war.
Wait, are they... He would be taking part in it too?
Do you know what mustering is,
You have to
young
lead
lad?
your own troops.
He would be forced to be a general or something?
He would be serving as his role as lord of his troops upon the battlefield.
Yeah, no.
Meanwhile, you do see that the lord just is still kind of in shock after getting smacked in his court and is like on the verge of tears.
I definitely don't agree with a child being on a battlefield.
It is the way of war. We have been rejecting these calls for some time, but this one seems a bit more dire. There are legal ramifications to disagreeing with the king, but we are willing to accept this.
Woo! Another quest with no money reward. Hoot-wee.
I think this would take persuading on her end, but I don't
I don't
think
want
we
to see a
should.
kid die.
I don't want
Miss, if I may,
I don't want to see this woman like angry with us.
Hold
like,
on, morally ambiguous here for a moment. Miss, if I may say something, you say there are going to be legal repercussions, and he lowers his voice to where only the lady can hear. Between you and me, that the king is not the most reasonable of people. So, and then he raises it again, and he says, "It seems to me that," and this is not a threat on my part by any way, this is just me giving my own perspective, that the possibility for this could be something as severe as the death of your house. If the king views this as betrayal or... what is the word I'm looking for?
Treason.
Treachery. Treason. There we go. Thank you.
Insubordination.
Thank you, voice in the sky. Insubordination,
No problem, kid.
treason.
I'm your god, by the way.
Yeah.
Get out of here! You're not my god.
There's any number of things he could assign to this, and while I understand putting your son on a battlefield is nothing any parent would ever want to do, it may very well be that his best and everyone's best chance of survival is actually kowtowing to this.
The young lad is not incorrect. It would be a sign of treachery at this stage with the documents that we have received here. I assume they're all official, and he just kind of like points out the things. The various like seals and marks.
Though the king may not be as lenient, I think you would still be able to possibly work out a system as to where the young lord would have a decent amount of protection as well. It's not like he would be going out there by himself.
His second in commands are quite intelligent. I'm sure they would recognize the futility of sending a young lad like this one out to die.
The captain speaks up and he says, I am that person you speak of. It would be his duty to go out into the battlefield.
No, I'm talking about the Duke's seconds. Like the ones who are in charge of like the planning and shit.
I'm sure they know better than to send a child out into the field.
You saw how he reacted to when the kid was brought up.
They
They're
were
not gonna
very
like it.
intelligent.
Yeah, something tells me he doesn't care.
It's more so that the king would like the troops, I think, rather than the lord's leadership on the battlefield.
He definitely didn't say anything about the Lord. He just said troops when we were around, but I think the documents say it all.
I believe if anything can happen, there can be special arrangements made for that the lord would not have to lead the troops, and the troops can instead work under another lord of a house nearby, or even under the duke himself if the troops were given. And if that arrangement cannot come to it, I'm sure that they would provide special bodyguards and such to accompany the lord, if anything.
Sir Knight and adventurers, I am honored by your presence at best. But this is my family that is being spoken of. And the ill tidings that these documents you have brought are certainly one of concern from me. I have no direct power. It is my son who has that power. But I beg that if there is anything that can be done to assuage these documents, and that they simply were not passed on, we would be willing to accommodate them.
I'm sorry, please explain this in layman terms for an idiot.
Chris says we get to the elves this session.
Basically, also, you hush your mouth. She's basically saying, if you can pretend like these documents disappeared, that you just didn't deliver them, then they would be willing to help for your efforts.
Is it just simple as burning them then?
Oh, it's as simple as you just didn't give these documents.
In what way may you help?
However is needed.
What can you provide?
She kind of like looks back. She's like gathering herself finally and goes to sit in her throne. The minister steps forward and says, we have the fullest account of our treasury. We have various other rewards. I'm not sure what is needed for pilgrims such as yourself.
Would we be able to reach the financial sum that they were offering us?
Double.
They kind of like look among each other. Are y'all agreeing with what Ren said?
I think double is overdoing it.
I think just more than it. I wouldn't say double.
Rin is just like
0.5%
looking directly between the minister and the lord, just like double.
Carista's abstaining in this conversation. She's not. She didn't even want to like mention the armor stuff in the first place.
Yeah, I don't like
You, of
either
course-
side of this.
You of course have to understand the position that this puts us in. We're disobeying a direct request from the Duke, soon to be king, and this could put us in a very dangerous position in our journeys throughout this land. So,
Give me a
feel it's
deception
what
check
we're
at
asking.
disadvantage.
A disadvantage?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're arguing
That's
with the
fine.
minister who knows his shit.
Wait,
What's
don't
the
you
worst that could happen?
don't you get like Wait, everybody's friend.
Yeah, that gives him expertise, not advantage.
Gives me expertise. It's not a deception, really. Like, this is.
No,
From
there was
Rin's
no
point of view-
obligation there. That was like a little bonus thing he offered. He's like, by the way, do that thing, and I'll make it real nice for you.
I mean, Rin's point of view is that we're not doing this thing that he asked us to, so that could put us in bad favor, which isn't technically illegal, but bad favors put Rin in rough positions before.
Mr. Minister, we're pilgrims. We have to travel around quite a bit. If we need forms of money and compensation just to get by, because we have to make our way on the road all the time. We don't have a stable form of work as always. Along with this, it's very necessary for us to get around in a smooth and easy fashion between the different states, cities, and countries. So if this was to any way prohibit our movement in the country by going against his orders, this is very bad for us if we can't be compensated correctly or even lose our ways.
Give me a persuasion check.
That's a 10. I'm not good at those.
Though your actions in listening to the lady's concerns would not put you in any jeopardy. It is how would you describe it? You were indeed tasked with this, and I'm sure that you had financial compensation promised to you as a result of the King's Court. We would be willing to, again, with the lady's concerns, work with you for any of those concerns that we could meet.
All I'm asking is that if the sums can at least equal what we were promised.
So, what do you want to do?
I am fine saying, we just never did it because it was optional for us anyways, but I want at least the amount that we were promised from them.
Which was $27.50?
It was $27.50, yes. I want at least that.
And Ren was promised land.
Land, yes.
Well, yeah, for.
So I'd actually say promise everyone an equal split, as opposed to Ren getting land, unless Ren wants land.
I mean,
here.
we were getting less because I was getting land apparently. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have all the numbers.
Yeah.
Self. This is what we agreed last time.
Yes, but now things have changed because.
Well, yeah, it would be more than. It would be more than $27.50 though.
Like Chris had the numbers. Chris had the numbers last time. Well, the issue is that $27.50 wasn't getting split up evenly with Ren because he was getting.
Yeah, I know. That's just what it would be if it was getting split up. I was just doing the math. It doesn't mean anything.
They kind of convene with themselves for a little while. And one of the attendants takes the Lord away to freshen him up. And after they discuss for a little bit, the minister says, looking at our records, it seems that land could be offered. There are small plots of farmland in and around the city here that can be offered to any sort of recompense. However, our treasury's numbers show that the most we can offer would be around 2,200 gold.
Could you offer us any items for compensation of the magical variety?
There's very little we have. If there's something in dire need that we do have within our vaults, we can certainly be willing to work with it. He just kind of takes a look over to the lady. They do not have sending stuff.
Damn it.
I mean, well, what kind of? They have a blacksmith here, right? Yeah, yes. I got my plate here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you've already got the plate.
What kind of armor do you need, Trollo?
I'm mainly worried about breastplate right now. I don't want disadvantage on stealth is the big thing, and I'm pretty sure there is no form of half plate that can give me not disadvantage on that.
Mithril.
Mithril.
Okay.
But they even fucking
Nah,
have
dude,
mithril.
they don't have mithril here. This is no mining
Yeah.
town.
So the best I could
I
ask
could
for
do-
is breastplate +1.
Yeah, same with me for studded leather.
Could we ask for
maybe even
maybe to
velvet.
work with your blacksmith here?
This could be arranged.
That would be good.
What are the chances they got a sunblade just lying around the armory?
They do not.
You're
Yeah.
mostly ranged anyways.
He can get in the fray and fuck shit up.
Yeah, you know why I'm ranged? Because I can't hit.
I also want a sunblade. That's on my list
Yeah,
too.
if we could get like
Get a Holy Avenger.
like
you're
a
good.
nice
Like
like a
a
nice
fucking-
like a nice discount card for the town.
Yeah, or just
like one of those like college football like cards that you can use at different places in town.
if we
that'd
can
be
just
great.
get discounts at your blacksmith, I think that would be
And magical item.
We
That
could
would be
we could
worth the rest
requisition
of it.
anything that you would need from the blacksmith or leather workers.
I think that and the money would be fine. And the land.
Oh wait, was land even promised in this?
It was for Renya.
Considering I'm going to be, spending my money on fixing up the land.
Should probably mention that the land was being used for an orphanage.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we saw a bunch of people like heading towards Donje from Heja, right?
Yeah, but you also saw that they're heading in different directions from this town. Some are heading south, some are heading east, some are heading north. This is kind of like a pass-through town.
Okay, and
It's
also,
just the
I-
closest
like,
town to the capital, so people are ending up here.
During our time in Donje, would I have noticed an orphanage?
Nope. It also doesn't seem they have
Yeah.
much of a need for an orphanage. It seems like the town is small enough
it's
to like,
not
take care of itself.
necessarily just an orphanage. It's like,
Well, yeah.
I
know the
orphanage slash-
details, but I'm just-
soup kitchen basically.
Yeah. There doesn't seem to be too much poverty here. It seems to be a very self-sufficient town.
It's bad, man.
Sorry, friend.
I mean, but hey, if it's a trade town, so
It is a trade town.
Yeah, but how suspicious does it look having an orphanage in a place where there's no like orphans or poverty?
Not
Just make poverty. Do a capitalism.
Just
Yeah.
take from everyone until you force them into poverty. Thus, they have to go to your orphanage.
Just recruit orphans.
Just-
wait for the
just-
war to happen and they lose terribly. Then there's a shitload of orphans.
Just
to
become
put-
lawful evil.
Just take all the orphans and move them somewhere else.
Wait, no, you're not wrong. They're about like
They're
there's
about to go to war, dude.
war. Yeah, I was like,
They might need one.
Rin just sort of just like clears his throat and says, I know this is a little bit extra to add, but the reason that I want the land is for, well, like it or not, the king is about to go to war with the southern half of your country, which means a lot of people are going to die. And dead people means there's going to be a lot of kids who are left just like me, without people to take care of them. And I hope to sort of aid them. I want to open up an orphanage here. I'm trying to help as many people as I can during my travels. And if possible, if you could toss a bit of coin towards the construction of the building, it'd be much appreciated, and I'm sure it would do wonders for the future, as grim as it might be as soon as the war starts.
You are entitled to whatever land that we are able to give upon you. We are already giving you everything within our treasury. What more do you need?
Wait, is that
They
literally
don't
their
got a lot
entire
in their
treasury?
right
I don't.
Is-
Something in my heart of hearts makes me not trust this.
Is 2,200 gold actually their treasury?
now. Insight it.
Good.
So I check.
I'll fucking
Insight check.
insight. I'm alright with insight checks. Never mind.
I'm alright with.
Oh, that's a 21. Pardon me with
There
the
you go.
disadvantage.
You're not sure whether that is what they have available in the treasury, but you do note that she's being very emotional at the moment.
I feel like we should just take the stuff from blacksmith and just call it, because we're getting something out of it. It's not money, but we're getting something out of it, and like, I don't want to take money from these people that they don't have. Like, they're already putting themselves in a pickle because of if they're not accepting this war.
Man, I wanted to give money so I could give Chris fucking money to make me a sending scroll. Fuck.
That takes so long.
I mean, they're offering money.
We're gonna be on the road.
Yeah,
no,
I'll
but
accept this.
they're like, it's all our money.
So
They
we're
ain't
accepting
gonna
land.
starve."
How
We're
much
accepting
money would-
land,
Money
college
and-
discount card, and money.
You're accepting some land, some money, and they'll requisition supplies from you from the local dealers.
Okay.
Do we want to just let them keep their fucking money and then
No.
we get shit from
No,
the
fuck
store?
them.
Alright.
I'm willing to accept. Like. Why?
Hear me
Wait,
out
why
here.
did you divide it?
Add a character, right? We could let them keep their money, and then Rin could take their money tonight.
No, like,
No, I
that
feel
kid's already
worse
learned
about
his
that.
lesson. The kid's already learned his lesson, Jerry. He got smacked in his fucking face.
Listen. As someone who's been hit like that, that doesn't always teach you a lesson.
As somebody who's been hit like that too, he taught me a lesson.
It turned me into even more of a little shit. There are two types of people, apparently.
Alternatively,
I'm
you can take the king's offer. It's still on the table.
We have to convince them to actually go to war, and the Lord isn't even here, so we can't convince him.
They're basically overriding the Lord.
I don't want to say.
So we can't convince them.
You can try.
I
did my best.
personally-
I already tried.
There's nothing I can
I
do.
personally feel that we come out better this way. Like, I might take like a tiny hit on like the land department, and like we get a little bit less money, but at the same time, your conscience is clear, and we get discounts with the armor, the armor smith, which means that Odd and I could probably get some better armor.
I just don't physically know what else I could do to convince her at this point, because I said everything that came to my mind that
Okay.
Like,
I don't know what would convince her at this
This entire
point.
thing is
so.
also the entire bit of them winning is riding on the fact that the fucking Duke is able to control the
Yeah,
part.
you know what? Fuck these people. I'm sick of getting shitty money rewards. Fuck them. I'm taking their money.
Lance would like to take the king's offer. What about everyone else?
Oh no, like, I'm just taking whatever at this point. Whatever. I'll take these fools' money. I'll take whoever's fucking money, as long as I get money.
I'm on
Chris,
the side of
Chris defaults to the party.
Of course, the king's is ideal, but if we can't convince them, it's like,
I'll
we
forego
can't
my
do
full
that.
share here. I'll forego my full share here.
I'm on the
You
side
guys
of
are
listening to
getting
Lady
comparable.
Ian, honestly, because I'm looking at this morally, and I'm looking at this from there's not much we could do to convince her otherwise.
Let's just take her fucking money.
Is that the plan?
Yeah, give us your shit, lady.
Yep. They are going to do their best to work with you. They just ask that you stay in the city for a day.
That's fine. It gives us some time to settle down.
That means that gives me time to go fucking get construction contracts.
Give us our friend.
Yep. And yes. Otherwise,
So we're taking
2,200 gold.
Okay, so
200 divided
600. No, 633 gold.
Are you still taking 300 off of it, Jerry?
No.
Okay, so then that math is still wrong.
Okay, hold on.
It's 666 apiece because it's just an extra 100 to each person.
Yeah.
God, I still don't feel right about this morally because that's taking so much money out of there.
Yeah, I don't care at this point. I need money. I don't care at this point. Lance
To be
probably
fair,
cares, but I don't.
Put yourself in that situation.
Well, yeah, but we've also been getting quests that have been not so great, and I'm not walking out of here with no money.
Again,
I
like,
ain't walking out of here with no money.
you don't have to make just one persuasion check and call it a day. You could try to make other arguments if you'd like to take the...
know what I would physically say.
That's on you.
I tried everything that I thought of, and it was like, no. Sorry.
I mean,
I'm
she
like,
seems
alright.
to want to hedge her. She seems to want to hedge her bets on the idea that the king will just believe that we didn't deliver this after we had a pretty solid deal handed to us.
Like, I gave her the reason, like, hey, you know, he might not get put into battle. He is only like 10. I'm sure that they know that that's pretty dumb and wouldn't let a 10-year-old lead them.
We can also just get out of Dodge. This was entirely optional. He didn't expect us to do this.
Or we could
I don't-
just sending, you know, the people and be like, hey, like, he wouldn't actually be leading the troops, would he?
Good ask.
Because he's 10. And that's dumb.
We do have a wizard with sending,
I also have a
and a
cleric.
cleric with sending.
I
Would
haven't.
never
I
have
haven't
sending.
prepared.
Would somebody like to
You
sending
took my scroll.
the minister and ask if he would have to be in battle leading because he is, you know, 10?
Fuck it. Yeah, the sending will say. Question about the deal. Would the young lord be expected to be on the battlefield with his troops?
He is only 10. Please include that.
The child lord, I'll say instead.
You get a reply back after a little bit, and it says, Lord Yon-san will be expected to fulfill all of his duties as the ranking member of his house.
We're not
You could
taking the
ask.
king's deal.
Well, no, you could ask if the troops could be under somebody else's like... That is a thing. I know that's a thing. If the troops, like, can work under some other lord for it, so that he doesn't have to be on the battlefield. I know that is a thing.
It's sometimes a thing.
You could ask, like, could it be possible that the troops can work under a different lord so that he doesn't have to be on the battlefield?
Fuck it, one more.
You ain't using your spell slots for today, it's fine.
I really do feel like I could wordsmith my way out of this, but
Wording. Could his troops work under another lord's flag to avoid a child being on the battlefield who has no experience in combat?
Captain M will lead the forces directly, but Lord Yon-san will be required for morale purposes. War is quite hard.
They said he would just be needed for morale purposes. They would be working under a different...
They'd be working
Lieutenant.
under Captain M, which
Right
is
here.
this boy right here.
Oh yeah, they'd be working under him, but the Lord's supposed to be there for morale.
I don't think that they expect... Would I know, like, knowing military shit, would they expect the Lord to fight or just kind of be there for support?
Give me a history check.
I'm in the military. I feel like I would know this, Chris.
Give me a history check.
19.
It is not unprecedented to do this. In fact, it's quite normal, even if the Lord of a House is quite young, to send them off into battle, because it's seen as an ability to get experience. Never happened in courts, because courts never really goes to war, but you do know it's very common in Opal S, very common in the Confederation, very common in the Ruby Kingdoms. It's just a thing that happens, and it does put the basically anyone who goes off to war in immediate danger of either, you know, death or capture.
God, I hate my life. I'll tell her, like, this is something that happens quite a bit.
'Tis, and we are sure that we are putting you out of place. With our offer in its stead, simply ask for your sympathies.
We of course sympathize. It's more so that
think of the consequences that could come if you don't do this. He's not guaranteed to die. Especially if he has Captain Im with him. I'm sure that he would be well protected.
Would defend him with my life.
I worry for what consequences could come if you don't do this.
It's true that we would be responsible for any choices that were made, so long as the news didn't get out, however. I'm sure it could benefit our house.
It's more so the fact that your king is going to be very upset if he goes to war and he doesn't have every troop that he could possibly have.
Much is true, my lady.
He seemed very hard-headed and very set on getting every troop he had. In fact, he's ignoring part of his own city that is being overrun with orcs and goblins just to get ready for this war. He
Guess me once the Starks are gone, the city's just gonna fall.
He is very set on getting these people there, and I feel that if this was ignored, he would come here himself and be far less tolerable.
Is a direct order from the king. We have made our offer to you. Do you accept? This is like the hard line for y'all as players. Is like,
so she's just not bending at all?
No, she's saying they can't say no to the king. So if you want to like insist that they take these documents, there's witnesses here. You have a lot of people who can confirm that you have delivered these documents and that the Lord needs to go off to war. Or they have their offer that they made to you, and you can accept it if you want it.
Would these people fucking narc that we were here?
I feel like they're loyal to the Lord more than the
Captain M would be, but he also seems to be loyal to like everyone around. These dudes though serve as witnesses. It would be unchivalrous for them to lie, and they would lose their position.
God, this is just a lose-lose. Even though we're getting rewarded either way, it's a lose-lose.
As somebody who has had military training, I think that I entrust Captain M more than enough to protect him. He will be in there, like in the fray per se. But many this happens all across the continent, and many of those people do come back.
So Lance is down for the king's deal. What about everyone else?
Because these bitches right here, they'll rat us out if the king ends up coming here.
They will not. No, they will. The only thing that they'll rat out is that you gave the documents, which is But that's what you want.
I mean,
the more people who saw you give these documents, the more people you have defending your choice.
I was saying the kid's gonna get beat the fuck up no matter what. If they don't agree to it now, he's just gonna come here later and he's gonna be more pissed.
It's either the kid goes to war and he has his chance of surviving because he's only there for morale and probably end up running at the first sign of danger. But if we take their deal, then the kid and his entirety of his people would probably get beheaded.
Like, this sounds bad.
There's also the idea that, like, yes, he has to be there as a sort of, like, morale leader, but one thing that, and history doesn't necessarily look favorably upon this, but a lot of leaders do lead from the back lines. He doesn't have to be directly in the mix.
Yeah, he's not necessarily gonna be like holding a great sword that's bigger than him, like out in the battlefield. But
like this,
he's not gonna be fucking Captain America charging into the final battle.
He'll be on a horse in the background, and that's it. Probably with a dagger inside.
As Summer, I prefer the offer that they're offering us, but as Lance, I prefer the Kings because Lance is like, you're a lord. Do your lordly positions. I'm a knight. I do my knightly position.
Yep.
Lance is like, you need to do what your job is, even if you are young, because this happens all the time.
Lance takes the King's deal. What do the rest of you do?
things do, and I kind of want to have a word with you, Johnson, after all this is sort of wrapped up. But I don't know if the lady will let me have that opportunity.
Chris defaults to the majority. She didn't like this whole situation, and she's just kind of uncomfortable shuffle.
So it's between Ren and Odd.
I said I want the king's offer,
okay.
And I'd like to have a word with Johnson.
So yeah, it doesn't matter if I give it.
Yeah.
What would you? So we know. What would you prefer?
Me as a person, and as Odd, side with Lady Yoon. But I'm outvoted. I'm outvoted, and I will accept this. And so will Odd.
Harold votes we kill them all.
Oh my God, Harold!
Little did you know he's chaotic evil.
This is when the skull pipes up.
Yeah.
Hello. I have a deal.
Ed here votes to eat the young lord.
Oh no.
Eat the rich.
I was gonna make the joke,
Eat
but
the rich and consume their wealth.
Odd was trying to get his joke out, and I couldn't fit it in.
Little do we know, Ed is a huge fan of Karl Marx.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
All right, is the king.
So you suggest to them that you'll take the king's deal? Very well. We will send this to our various agents and make accommodations as we need to. The lady kind of nods, also kind of nods at the captain, and then looks back to you all. Very well, I believe this is adjourned.
Might we have a small
Madam.
young lord?
You also haven't gotten Zoe back.
I mean, they said that's gonna happen. You just gotta go pick her up.
May I have a word with your son? And he just sort of like gestures to himself and just says, I'm not much of a fighter myself. I'm sure that when your boy grows up, he'll be able to whip someone like me, but in the state that he is now, I think that I could give him a couple of tricks that I've learned over my multitude of years to keep him safe.
Give me a persuasion check.
I understand this. I'll take a persuasion. Sure.
Wow!
She nods and says, "Very well, adventurer. It will be seen to. But now I must take my leave. Captain? Minister?" And then she gets up and walks out. The door slams as she leaves.
Yeah. I don't feel good about this. I really don't feel good about this.
Lawful good. Do your fucking job, Lord.
Do you have anything to discuss with the minister before the Lord arrives?
No, I want to say one thing to the Lord and be done with it.
Yep. In due time, the Lord is fetched. He's still got a red mark on his cheek, but otherwise he seems fine. He seems also more comfortable that his mom's not in the room.
Yeah, I should also say, Bracer is not on my arm, as I just sort of like say this time. I say, just sort of like look to the minister. May I approach the Lord? Or...
Actually,
you see that I have no weapons at all.
I'm just checking a thing. Don't mind me.
I advise you don't.
Yeah, I just simply say I want to speak to him man to man for a moment. He has a big step ahead of him.
And speak.
Am I able to step forward?
The Lord has beckoned you.
Yeah, I just sort of step forward and I just say, I want you to know that while you're out there, you're going to see a lot of stuff. Stuff that you think you're ready for. Stuff that you're excited. You're not. You're not for it, little Lord. You're going to see a lot of horrendous things happen. And you need to know that while you're out there, you don't have to be a hero.
But I want to be a hero.
People,
I want to serve my country.
Rin just sort of looks at him and says, "And how best do you think he would do that?
That's
Dead
what
on
my...
the field, bleeding out, or being able to come back home to the people who trust you to lead?"
My people go with me. That's the whole idea. It's war.
And what about the people who are left behind? The people who only know that their lord is leaving, not knowing if he's going to come back. What about your mother? Your mother who has, even though she doesn't want to say goodbye to her son, who's only 10. Bearing in mind that you're already a strong young man. You're still young. You've still got a lot ahead of you. You're not ready for things that come with taking someone's life.
I'm ready to see our country succeed. That's all of it. Do you intend to impugn me?
I intend to impart on you the spare bits of wisdom I've learned over 30 years. It's your choice if you choose.
He kind of like takes you seriously for a minute. Just closes his eyes and then nods. He doesn't back talk.
And with that, I just sort of, for the first time, I just give a slight bow and walk away.
Mm-hmm. Did Odd want to say something as well?
How was I gonna word it? I get that these are your people and you are the one who is supposed to rule over your domain, but I would recommend just at least listening to Minister Rowe, Captain Im, and even your mother from time to time. Taking their guidance could prove to be very beneficial for you.
They serve their jobs well.
I don't look at it as job. I mean, Lady Yoon's your mother. She cares more about you than anybody.
He does the similar thing where he just like he takes your words into account, like gives a nod. You seem to have made your point clear, at least that point.
Yeah, like essentially what he's saying is listen to them listen to them before acting. Take the guidance that they can give, and your mother has a better mind than you think she does.
Yep.
Oh, I got something.
Uh-huh.
How old is his mom?
Good question.
Probably
40s?
Late 30s. Late 30s, early 40s.
Probably 40s.
Okay.
Looks beautiful though.
Have a safe trip into battle, sir. I know many people here will want to see you come home safely, so make sure you stay safe on the battlefield.
Are you going?
Not for this war. I have my own wars that I need to attend to.
You see him like think for a minute and then kind of snicker, and then nod at you. May your journeys be great, knight.
Yours as well, my lord. Thank you. A bow.
Chris?
Just remember that if you go running blind through, that you're more likely to suffer the greater consequences. Be observant, be wise, and listen to people.
Take the observant feet.
Take the observant feet.
But only when you hit your next ASI.
I also recommend tough because you are a small noodle.
How to kill her?
I cast lightning bolt.
Wait, what? You cast? Oh, lightning bolt. I heard guiding bolt for some reason. I was like, wait, what?
I was gonna say I cast fifth level fireball, but this is not Hesta. But I'm so used to it.
What Chris actually does is grabs Odd's hand and makes him cast guiding bolt.
He's just sitting there like, what are you doing? Why
I'll
are
I
you
take
mean,
her
if
pulling
over
the
my
here.
Lord's
arm?
dead, he can't go to war.
Alright,
on,
give
let's-
us our fucking girl.
Let me just see real quick what
Give us a
damage this
child.
can do. Let me just see what this can do at 4th level. I'm just curious.
Wowie.
Yeah, just
A
hold
lot.
on. Yeah, he's dead. Kid's dead.
Kid,
Essentially.
yeah, he's dead.
He doesn't have to fight now. He's fine.
But yes, otherwise you are adjourned. You may take your leave. And
Yes,
that is that
I'm
unless you have
outside.
anything else to say to them. Why are y'all shooting the fucking Lord?
Oh wait,
I
are
was
we doing
seeing
that?
how much damage I can do.
Oh shit, we're doing
I
that.
just want to see if I can kill the child.
Easily.
Oh shit, I did the wrong
He's
thing.
10 years old. We need to fuck him
Alright.
up.
Get us the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Let's go to the
Where's
place
our
where-
girl? Let's
Bruh,
go.
if someone met me when I was 10, I'd expect them to hit me with a +1 longsword. Like, what
she's
the
out,
fuck?
She's out here, guys.
Oh, I don't want to move. I'm lazy.
Too bad.
She's out here. Come on.
Oh, runs
Yeah,
and
I
tackles
just
and hugs.
got her-
Ah!
you got her stuff,
Tackle this
right?
small child.
She has her stuff, right?
Yeah,
Is she
she
dressed appropriately?
she's dressed appropriately and has all her bags.
Okay, good.
I run at her and I tackle hug.
Okay.
I'm like picking her up at this point.
This card's like, I'm a little too close, hold on.
We are
It's
looking
good to
into
have
these
back.
royals before we ever talk to them again.
What?
So we're looking into these royals before we ever talk to them again.
So how much money individually was the king offering?
I have it. I'll paste it again. This is what we get.
Yeah, you went with the old deal, so all of that is accurate.
Yeah. Imagine as we're walking out, we get down a courier and tell him to send a letter being, hey, we address the letters that they will see what they can do.
But yes, Zoe is free.
Okay, so just add 83.
She's back to the party. You technically don't have the money yet, but you'll get it soon.
I'll put it in our inventory.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Okay. But yes, the group is reunited. Do you do anything else?
Aki and Summer, they're
Yeah.
here. They're in.
Okay.
Why did you spoil the surprise?
She already knew.
Oh wait, was it a surprise? No one told
She
me.
didn't know.
No,
Carissa
she
already
did.
told her. Carissa
No.
already told her.
No, Z.
So we
Why
ran into
did you-
them.
No,
I
Z.
didn't
Z.
tell her. I didn't tell her. I didn't tell she that we were bringing Aki.
Can
and,
I
Summer's
roll
group
to
back.
retcon? Can I roll
You don't
to
have
retcon?
to roll to retcon.
Chris is like, oh, and then Ren puts his mouth over Chris.
His mouth
Mouth
over. Oh no!
Oh,
It's
my.
the boyfriend's show.
Right in front of the boyfriend.
Yep.
See, this is how you be a man.
Full
Uncanny
tongue.
dodge that one. Oh, uncanny dodge that.
His hand over her mouth. I'm having a stroke. It's
It's fine.
fine.
Oh,
Let me-
this is how you be
You
a
know what?
man.
You know what will help? Let me just down this whiskey. Hold up.
Oh boy.
Let's get this
This is
shitty.
I'm not
like-
drinking.
Alright. Do you know off the top of your head, by the way, how long it takes to make a 3rd level spell scroll?
1 work week.
1 work week? How long? Okay, I don't know how long we're gonna be
40
traveling,
hours.
so it's fine.
We're not being here long. We could
Oh
just
yeah, we're traveling like a shitload. That's what I was gonna say. I think that might be a week.
we could just buy. We could just buy a scroll.
That being said, do you have any other business while you're in the castle?
Nope.
Not in the
Fuck
castle.
no, let's get out of here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go buy Zoe a drink.
I go pray at the heirloom statue, like, yo, what up?
You do so.
I do it so at the Triad statue too. Yo, what up?
However, give me a solid 3 minutes to get a drink, and I'll be right back.
All right.
Here's beautiful
Dog, I
music.
can get a drink too. Hold up.
Oh my
Be
god.
ready, yo, what
you're-
up?
Maybe I should go mix.
Not
food.
an alcoholic drink, water drink.
Yo,
Okay.
what up? I wanna die.
I'm gonna go get a Gatorade.
I'm gonna go mix food.
In 3 minutes?
Yeah, I just have to microwave it.
All right.
And then there was me.
I'm still here.
Oh. Oh,
Hey,
hi.
what up? Hi.
How you doing? You come here often?
Very, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can tell. Go on.
Oh, there, look, you have Zelf now. Bye. Or sorry, Troll is back.
Was she just not wanting to leave you alone?
It was just me and her here for a bit, and then I guess she just fucking left. When you got back, I don't know.
You're gonna
Man,
go clean up
I just had
stuff.
I'm literally right next to the kitchen near the fridge. I could just like walk over, grab a thing out of there, and just like fucking bail.
I'm gonna go clean my dishes and I need to pee.
Do so.
Oh, I gotta stretch! Oh, oh shit. Zelf, you read that letter?
Yeah.
Pretty gay.
It's Niles, of course it's gay.
Yeah, most things he sends are pretty gay, I'm not gonna
I
lie.
know, right? Like that. I mean, he sent you a little drawing of his penis in it.
Where? Wait, where is that?
It's right there. Do you not see
No,
it?
no,
No, I
no.
don't.
So what he did was he took his dick, pressed it down into an ink thing, and then pressed the dick
I
onto
feel
the
like that's
paper.
not a good idea.
No, it is not.
I
That's
feel
a
like the
way to
more
get
accurate thing is he
infection.
just kind of slapped his dick down and traced it.
He's having a time in the desert, though. Poor
Ah, yes, I'll
Niles.
send you this.
Poor Niles.
Go clean.
For
I
some
go
reason, that
clean
kid has a
and
large
pee. I'll
dick.
be back.
So how does it feel sending a small child to war?
Oh, you know, it's either we send him to war or he dies anyway because they
He didn't do his
seem to
fucking
probably behead
job!
him. Regardless, it was going to be told that we gave the papers, so there was no winning. That was a lose-lose situation. Either way, we were getting rewarded. Either way, our morals were getting tested. Just the thing that we had to deal with.
Indeed.
At least I can say I voted for the
Hubba dubba bubba bubba.
morally right side, question mark. Hello,
Technically,
Chris.
they were both morally right.
It was
Uh,
a lose-lose
It-
either way.
it was not really a moral discussion, it was a lawful discussion.
Lawful discussion, yeah.
I-
Well,
is
either
the
way.
is the Lord obeying the law, or are you going to take an underhanded tactic to circumvent the law?
I mean, regardless, we're not
It wasn't so
breaking
much
any
that
law.
the Lord wasn't obeying the law, it's more that the Lord's mother wasn't obeying the law.
Well, yeah, but the Lord has power at the end of the day. But if the lady was just like, "Yeah, you're not going to war," like, he might listen on the grounds of her being his mother. But that's still him in dereliction of his duties.
Yeah. Oh man, I felt so good when she slapped him. That felt so good. Let's just hope he takes advice to mind.
He is dead.
Probably. But hey, at least it's only one person dead and not like an entire... I wanted to say monarchy, but I don't think that's the right word.
I mean, the monarchy could lose.
Yeah, no, this is the
The
northern
North could get
portion-
very fucked up.
the North could very easily lose this. And even if they win, I don't see the what is that one place called again?
Which place?
The place we left.
Hey Joe.
Heijo. Yeah, I don't see Heijo standing when they're done because that that invasion. They're losing a lot of troops and it's just gonna crumble.
I mean,
is
it's
the
also
way-
kind of like a natural defense, though. It's a place that they might see as like, oh, this is a very unguarded area, and there's like holes in the wall. We can just go. Oh God, so many goblins.
Man, if they did get invaded and they invaded from the fourth quarter, oof.
I mean, that's the way. I mean, usually when you mount an assault, you do it from as many sides as you can.
Yeah.
So
They're in a pretty weak
somebody's
position
gonna
because
go into that fourth quarter.
there's no like natural defenses for that city. It's just in a plain, in a valley, a really big valley. So.
Well, no, the natural defense is the invading
Oh, yeah,
army
no.
of the orc.
I'm
That's a
saying there's
natural
no.
defense.
That's not natural. It's very.
I mean, technically, it's a natural defense.
It's a good thing nobody.
It's
cares
a
about
circumstantial defense.
Oh.
Not if they're staying. Ain't circumstantial if they're staying.
Blech.
Um,
Oh god, this letter's gay.
is Free and Jerry.
Jerry's making food.
Oh,
I'm back.
Free's back, but Jerry's making food.
I will give him a moment.
I'll take this time to pee while he's doing a thing.
Alright, get this dude out of our
Only
journal.
only downside for this little quest line, y'all never got to meet any of the courtesans. They're all
Never got
there.
to what?
You didn't get to meet any of the other courtesans. Like,
They're not allowed
look
to-
in the main hall.
They're not allowed to talk to
Yeah.
us.
My mouse fucked up.
Why you
I
got
know.
Prim?
I said there were primrose.
Prim.
No, there's another one.
Yeah, I can't move.
So, I made it back safely, but I almost ate shit like 4 different times on the way back with my food.
Oh.
Rim,
And the
be my
only thing
wife.
that the only thing that I knew for certain while I was walking back with my food was, if it came to my nose breaking or my food falling off the plate, my nose was gonna be broken.
Dude,
Why are you so clumsy?
Dude,
Because life hates me, Free.
I feel that.
Like, I almost fell to the most obscure shit. Like, there was a can of like non-perishables on the floor that like had fallen out while my brother was moving shit around. I almost slipped and fell on that. I almost tripped on the door frame. I almost fucking tripped on
Look
my
where
shoe.
you're walking.
For real?
Do
I
some
couldn't.
yoga. Get some balance.
Have you considered opening your eyes?
No. The best bit was
Maybe
when
you
I-
should
when
take off
I
that
almost-
blindfold when you're walking.
The best bit was when I almost
Fuck
tripped
this.
on the can. I did like a hop on one foot for like 5 steps, and then I saved it, and I'm just like, oh my god.
That being said, you all gather your things. You gather Zoe as well, and you head out into the city of Dongjae.
I'm buying Zoe a drink.
Yeah, we're running by the inn where everybody's waiting.
Yep. You guys head to the inn. Much to the retcon surprise of Zoe, Summer and Aki's groups are there. They make a big boisterous yell when she walks in. She rushes over to hug Summer, give another hug to Aki, and then greets everyone else.
Makes out with Aki.
Wow.
Furiously makes out with him.
But otherwise, you are reunited with your other traveling companions. What is the plan?
So good. What?
Well,
Oh.
well, we need to wait here. Wait, do we need to wait here the day,
You
or?
do not.
Oh yeah,
Curio, we find you.
we got the courier out there.
I'm sending out another letter. I will write it to you later, Chris.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know that I do that.
But yeah, you don't have to leave, but you can stay. No one's making you leave.
Yeah,
Up
well,
to you.
yeah, no. We're gonna take our time with the people that we let Zoe have her fun. Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, get this fucking Duke out of here.
In due time.
Yeah, I just want
In due time? Haha.
In due time.
I wanted to say it free, but I had a hot dog in my mouth.
Get that wiener out of your mouth and maybe you can make jokes.
What about this?
Fine,
What about
I
the
won't.
shop here? Do they have something you might need?
I'm just saying to get the wiener out of your mouth, you can eat everything else.
They do have an armory and a leather worker.
Oh, yeah,
You don't get any free shit anymore, but
Yeah, let me go to the magic shop and then also the armory just to see
I don't think the magic.
prices.
Magic shop here.
there was a magic shop, but it's not
Yeah.
much.
It
not
didn't
much
have
cheaper.
anything.
I just want to check to see. Yeah, they don't have the swords that I wanted or anything like that. I just want to see if they have the headband of intellect.
No,
Because it's uncommon.
they do not have.
Can I go to the magic shop?
Yes.
They have. Hold on, I have to remember which one it is.
Odds are low. Remember that going in.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fine.
not low though.
Page cannot be found. Open 5e. Why would you? What happened? What happened to you?
Bro.
So you have a spell scroll of sending?
That is a good question. What level spell is that?
Third.
I'll roll.
It better be 500 or cheaper,
Right
or
there.
else I'm making Chris do it.
If I... my mouse worked.
It's a pretty, like, commonly used spell, so...
They do not. They did have one a few weeks ago, but that was before you even showed up.
Do they have a cloak of protection? It is uncommon.
They do not.
Okay, then.
Oh wait, yeah. Now I think about it, Chris, do you stay on the side of multiple people casting one spell to create a thing with cut shades on?
Well, just like looking from where we are now to where we're headed next, I assume that's gonna be more than a week.
Well, yeah, but like, I'm just curious on it. Chris,
Yeah.
What?
were you listening at all?
I was listening, but I didn't hear the question.
Are you of the mind that multiple people casting a spell, the same spell to create a thing would make less, or would take less time?
No.
Okay, so
It
never
takes the
mind.
required time.
I tried.
Also, I don't think it would stack because you're two entirely different forms of casting.
Would Chris
Sure.
be willing to do that? I would give you the money for it.
Sure.
Okay. I'll only do it if we know for sure that our thing is gonna take a week. So we'll see.
I
how
mean,
many
we could
extra
always
days here.
chill for like a week, cause
Good.
I don't think the ephemeris, if theirs isn't being read, then ours isn't.
I'm just saying, like, we're going to the elves next, and that looks like a long distance, and we have a cart. So I mean,
We could honestly make our way to the elves and then spend some time there.
Yeah.
Like some days.
I can just give you the money now, though, if you'd like for it.
Not 70
No,
miles.
just
Not that
give
far.
it to me when I complete it.
Okay.
Just yeah.
Wait, are you holding this to accurate measurements, Chris?
All of this is accurate.
Oh shit.
That's why this is only a day and
Only
a half.
about 70 miles.
We've gone 276 miles.
As the
Runs,
bird
yeah.
flies.
275.
In the
Yeah,
most
it's
in the
way
most
more than
direct
that.
route. Cause we've gone at least in like 2 circles around Ezo.
Yeah, don't count those, because that was the beginning of your journey, but this is your actual route to present. You've traveled about 412 miles. Not bad.
Getting our steps in.
Ooh-wee.
That being said,
Oh yeah, and I will just check this. No, if I'm gonna give you the money, never mind. I won't have enough for anything from the armory if I have to give you money for a sending scroll.
I want to ask the magic shop man or woman
lady.
or okay, a lady. If there's anyone that would be interested in antique silverware in town.
Antique silverware.
Antiques in general.
If anyone was to be interested in that, I'm sure it would be the Lord and his retinue.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we're welcome back to the Lords right now, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I also don't think a 10-year-old cares about the cool older silverware. Okay, thanks.
I will try to find what could be close enough to a farmer's market or just like a restaurant in general.
Yeah,
Guys, let's
there's
just
probably
like
a
to go
restaurant
to-
or two.
Yeah. How much were they willing to buy this cockatrice meat from me?
For the
I have
cockatrice
this-
meat.
Yeah, I
The chicktendies.
The chiquitandies.
They'd be willing to
Have, like, 10
buy
cut.
that. Yeah, how much?
It's like a 10-pack.
A 10-pack. For a 10-pack chicken nuggies, they'll buy that for 15 gold.
15?
For cockatrice.
fuck it, sure. I mean, when you look at it from
weren't eating it.
yeah, you look at it from like silver comparisons, like this is kind of expensive. It puts me at
See, you
440.
should have had them just teach us how to cook it.
Meh.
Like rent a stall and then sell chicken tendies.
Wait, Troll, are you telling me you... Never mind. I can't say that. We're on stream.
Damn it.
That being said, what is the plan?
Are
we're
we
gonna
just
go
are we
right
hanging
now.
out? Are we hanging out here or are
I
we going
think-
to the Elven town?
I think we're letting Zoe be social for like a day or two,
Yeah.
and then we're leaving.
Okay, well then I get 2 days on my scroll of sending.
Yes.
Wait, does it have to be
That's
straight?
It's
Yeah,
40
it's-
hours.
40 hours? Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's 1 work week, which is, you know, the 9 to 5.
Essentially.
Okay.
But
Business hours.
do you guys as players have anything to do in Dongjae while you're here?
I play with my cat.
That is the thing you do.
Do I want to do this?
I feel bad for the kid, so I'm not gonna steal from him.
Do they have anything like interesting worth going to here, or is this just a simple place?
A pretty simple place. You can probably like ask some of the guards to climb the wall, and you get a nice view of the area. And there's just like a few. There's probably like 2 restaurants that are also taverns in the town, as well as just like people to meet in the town. But it's just a pretty simple place. There's nothing standing out about it beyond the invasion that's happening in Haja. That was the much more interesting city.
Oh, is there a fabric shop?
Yes. You head to
Guys,
the local
recommend
seamstress.
Oh, can I cut more wood, by the way?
Sure.
For money?
You go find that dude who's letting you cut the wood. I don't remember how much he
I
paid you
got
last
15 gold.
The group.
Yes.
Theoretically, right, if we have to head back west, are we gonna be swinging past Haja?
Well,
map-
we have to go down to South Ezo, so maybe...
Okay, because I will need to swing past, like, right north of Haja.
For your perspective, I assume you want to look at your land.
Yeah, map.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
keep
it
it
was, like,
on this
30
map.
Yeah, it was like 30
We don't
miles
care about the
north
other
of-
one.
Yeah, we
it's
don't
like
care
over
about
here.
Yeah, fuck that.
For the rest of the
Yeah, it was-
campaign, this is the only map we're
Yeah,
dealing
the-
with.
Only map we'll look at.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so
from where we are, we could go like boom, boom.
Yeah, like, I need to, like, scout the... Man,
Or we
I
could
need,
go there
I,
straight, or no, because we'd just be like boom.
I need that helm of teleportation.
I imagine once we
You-
get
You
get
could
like
just take
our
a small
paperwork and
detour
money.
up to here and then head off into here.
I'll let
Yeah,
John speak.
I imagine once Ren gets paperwork, it's going to be like a thing that's just like, okay, so this is the name of your land. This is where it's going to be directed on a map.
Yeah. You already
Yeah,
know
so-
generally where it's gonna be.
So yeah, we could just be
Yeah.
like, say this is the area for the elves. It would just be a straight shot here if this is where it's at, down through Heijo if we wanted to, and then straight off to the capital.
Yeah, so, like, that actually works. Like, so it's here. Like, we leave for Donjay, we go to, like, the elves, which I think was, like, right here.
Somewhere up there.
And
Somewhere in
then
Sabroni.
we then, like, we cut back here, and then I need to go to Heijo to recruit people in it anyway. After that, and then we move to Southern Formosa. That works for me.
Sweet.
Yeah, fair enough.
I
But
assume we're also kind of waiting around here for our courier to come with our shit, anyways.
That is
So
the
it
thing.
makes-
That's an
It
option.
gives time for like Zoe to be social, so I think that's just what we're doing for like the next few days. Like, let Zoe be social with Aki and Summer. We'll see if she has any fucking hits with the ephemeris. We head to elves then, but we're also waiting for our shit.
That
I
is the
also
option.
told Zoe and Aki not to talk about the Southern Stones yet.
Wait, you asked them not to talk about them? What?
I want it to be a surprise to Zoe.
Ah, fair enough.
Um,
And then Lance is moody and like comes home really late chopping wood because he's still pissed.
So I'm at the fabric shop.
Yeah, she's at the fabric shop.
Oh yeah, this was a thing happening, wasn't it?
Sorry, Free.
I've interrupted you guys plenty of times. I was gonna let you guys keep going.
Go on.
What a solid young lass.
What up? I recognize my flaws.
What a unit.
Why is there a slash in my text bar? Okay.
You're at the
so-
seamstress.
Hold. Wait, actually, someone else stall. I need to
damn.
look up.
What the?
Oh my
We were
God.
stalling the whole time.
Yeah, but I didn't think.
All right. Have
I
they
didn't
got
think.
have they got an apothecary here?
Magic shop is essentially the apothecary.
Could I buy the herbs to make potions?
Yes.
All right.
However much the pack is worth, the component pouch is the price of it. I believe that was like
25.
25
There you
was-
go.
Yeah. So minus 25 gold to my thing.
Ching.
15. And I'll work on. I'll spend the time working on that as we are leaving.
Yes.
So I'm gonna. So Harold has like this like dark cloth, kind of like cloth leather, mercenary look to him.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna get materials like that, and I'm gonna get the materials I need for like to do like a little like embroidery
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And so what I want to do is I want to make I want to give Dan and Paul outfits kind of like Harold's, give them a little bit of different style, and then I want to use I guess it would be embroidery, I don't know, or stitching, but I want to stitch a little crest as like a little badge for each of them on their chest area, like to the
Understood.
side.
So
So they look like they're like a team. They're like they got like a uniform, but they each got a little bit of flair. Like they have different hats
yeah.
and sashes.
Zombie Force
For
1.
that, I'd say for the various supplies, 40 gold.
40 gold. That is a-okay.
Ching.
Is that it for you?
Yeah, and I'm gonna spend my. So I'm either writing a spell scroll or I'm stitching clothes together.
Understood.
One last thing from me. Could I see if I can figure out what that what was that ointment you had, Jerry?
Cotton's ointment.
Yeah, could I
Cotton's?
see? Could I try to discern what's used to make that?
Refresh
last
me
bit
on how it's
left.
spelled.
Keoghton.
Because my mom has made it
In
before.
the
You said so.
compendium, it might be called restorative ointment.
Let me
Wait, why don't you just ask your mom how it's made?
Good.
Oh, you know that's fucking
Yeah.
true. I can sending her. Hey, mom, how do you make this ointment?
In 25 words or less.
What do
How
I
do you
need to
make
make
the
it?
ointment?
You can respond to this message.
Yeah. How do you make the ointment known as instant ointment name here? Because it's God. It's so weird.
Yes. How's it going? Let me see.
hate you.
Keck. Yeah. She responds, happy to hear from her son. And she gives you, as best as she can, all the ingredients, which can be found in the component parts pouch for now. And you get a general idea of where you could find this stuff in the wild if you so chose to look.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
it.
I'm not sending thanks, mom, love you, and that I don't expect a response after that.
That's gay.
It's like
being
that
able to send in your mom.
like that kid that comes home from college. It's like, oh sweet, I'm so happy to see you. It's like, mom, I just need to use the washing machine.
I actually just needed to borrow the car.
Sweet, I haven't seen you in 5 years.
Can I have,
Yeah,
can I have
fuck
500
off. I
bucks?
just need the recipe for the mac and cheese. God.
Is it more
Mom.
macaroni or less
you're back.
cheese?
You're back
I
from
don't
college.
remember.
Yeah. I just need 500
No,
bucks, Mom. I need it for gas.
It's a pinch of pepper.
Wait, $500 for gas? What?
Really,
That's-
being used for weed.
That's expensive weed. Holy shit.
Mom, my laptop broke.
Like
actually
if
buying
you're
weed.
$500 for drugs, it better be like Mexican black tar
Designer
heroin
drugs.
or like pure cocaine.
What the
It's
fuck? I just got gifted a sub to somebody
pure
that I'm not even
cocaine.
watching right now.
Wow.
That's happened to me before. I don't
Yeah.
understand it.
Beyond that, do you have any other business in Dongjae?
But so can I make
no.
that? Can I make that ointment with the stuff I got now?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll do that on the road.
Wait.
I got.
Uh-huh.
I'm ready to go.
Oh,
I'm ready to
good.
go.
Okay.
Every moment I stay here is another moment I'm tempted to steal from that little shit.
God damn.
Not only is he going to war, but he also got his lunch money stolen.
But yeah, you guys go off.
Lunch money.
You guys go off and meet with everyone in the tavern. Zoe's very pleased to see them, and they are very pleased to see her, all in good health and such.
We introduced Z. This is Z.
Greetings. Formalities are had. But otherwise, you have downtime in the village. Is there anything you want to talk about with the groups or with Zoe or anything? All options are on the table.
We're doing my duel later, aren't we?
Or what?
Duel.
Oh
The
yes.
duel.
That'll happen. Out of session.
Post session.
Out of character. Should we tell Zoe that she helped with us getting her back?
I mean, she was meeting with Z every day. Essentially.
Yeah, I was like,
No, I'm
she?
Aki. Fucking hell, Aki.
Ah. That's deep.
So many names going through my head right now.
listen, he couldn't keep up. Fuck him.
Excuse you, he was the MVP of that fight.
The fuck do you mean?
I mean, they both help. Summer's
Yeah,
grouped
get
out
off
the
your
wall
pedestal.
because she's Archer.
He was the MVP. Meanwhile, Ren casually over here pushing the
Casually falling 5 floors.
I can't
Onto
think of
the
anything to
cart.
say to them, though, honestly.
I don't really have anything to say to them either.
I don't. Because they haven't been able to read, too, right?
Well, we were getting to that. At some point, that evening probably, Zoe, Aki, and Summer all get together, out into, like, one of the small fields, within the city walls. And they all kind of pray together, making, like, a little hand-holdy sort of thing, a little circle amongst themselves.
I yell from over the banister, y'all gay!
Cult.
Um,
No, you.
Lance has no right to say that.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But G goes over there with them, and it seems to just be watching as they do their thing. They all use their ephemeruses to try to locate their next destinations. But after they spend some time doing that, you do note that they all come back fairly disappointed.
So I guess it's just a matter of we do what we need to until you get a pull.
It's just the way of it, I guess. I don't really know what else to do. It's not that big of a deal, Zoe. These things just happen. You just have to take it one step at a time. Yeah, you don't have to worry about anything.
Performance issues.
What?
Don't worry.
4 more months.
4 more months. 4 more months.
God damn it.
4 more months. All the threads are in a slump right now. It's very
$sign more
confusing.
months.
$sign more months.
God damn you.
All the threads we know are in a slump, even in stray embers. Why?
That being said, the youngins spend time together with each other, while the old farts are spending time probably with you, just chilling in the tavern, having a nice night. Everyone goes about their own business. If you have no
There's
Ren's drinking himself to death again.
Do none of them question Harold?
Listen. His disguise is great.
It's a fantastic disguise. He's just a mute bandit.
I don't know. Oh, hey, there's actual music.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Somebody
we
at one point tried to like go up and talk to him. He's like, "Is your friend okay?"
He's
just kinda
got
been
a
staring at-
cold.
He's just been staring at the wall for the past 3 days.
He doesn't blink.
I
He
don't
doesn't
think he
have
has eyes.
eyelids.
I don't know
don't
for
know
sure. We
that.
say we had another date night since it's been a while.
What?
Should we say
Dude.
Chris had another date night because it's been a while?
Lance has me writing the scroll. I've got to make outfits for Dan and Paul. My
Fair enough.
schedule's full.
Later then.
Later.
You two can
You
cuddle
can-
in the cart.
You can sit there and talk to Karist while she writes the spell scroll.
All right, you make the spell scroll. I'll make the ointment.
Nevertheless, a good evening is had. One where Lance has blisters on his hands. The other where Ren is profusely drunk. And you
Where
make it.
my writing
This
fingers
is an
calloused.
everyday thing, by the way, since they've left, Hey Joe.
I'll slow down on that, friend.
Fucking what? You slow down, Officer.
You're not drinking.
No,
You will
this
never
was
drink
so
on
good.
a Tuesday, sir.
Friday.
Sunday.
Go for you, mate!
That being said, everyone spends a jovial night in their own way, some less than others. But in the morning, groggily as you do, Ren, you are hailed by a courier below the tavern.
Also,
You just sort of like groggily sits up and is like, what?
He passes a note to you whenever you go up to him. And
just drop down and grab it.
yeah, it has a variety of papers, most of them deeds. He asks you to sign some here and there. And then he presents a different letter to you, detailing the details that you had already like signed off. You see your own signatures on this page, so it's all official. And a cart arrives soon thereafter from the customs, which is presented with a lot of money.
Money, 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 money. Money.
Also, Chris, did you want me to roll for the ointment thing?
Yes.
All right. Enhance abilities. Advantage. It's a 27.
Not bad. You are able to make 5 doses.
5 doses. Write that down.
What is that
Jared.
accent on the word doses?
Doses.
Deuces.
This
Doses.
is my
You
dude.
got 5 doses, mate.
Yeah, no, I just like has it in a container, tosses it to you, and saw you're running out.
5 deuces, you cunt.
So we are still going another hour, right?
I mean, we don't have to. We can end at 3.
Oh no.
How are you
Okay.
feeling free?
I'd like to at least get to the fucking Elven village.
I'd like to sleep. I kind of just wanted to turn in this quest, but
Oh.
Okay.
if we wanna go find the elves.
Let's finish with whatever we're doing in this town, and that's what we'll call it.
I think.
So I don't think anybody else has anything left.
Depends.
I'm good.
I'm good.
This
I
is where
just-
I actually decided to steal from the Lord and keep the session going another 40 minutes.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
I will
yes.
hurt you. I will hurt you tomorrow.
Anybody at all.
Alright, man.
No,
Well, if we look
Self,
at my
shut the
list,
fuck up.
I'm muting you.
That being said, I'd say you probably like as the various monies are exchanged and you guys figure out the best way to actually put those effects away. You guys just spend another calm evening in the town. You do note that the various threads once again try to check their ephemeruses at the night, and they come up unsuccessful once again. In the morning, everyone greets each other down in the tavern area, and the other threads are going, or they begin to mention what their plans are for the the next few weeks to months. It seems that Summer's group is going to be heading down to the capital. They wanted to head west from Heijo originally into the Confederation, even without a destination, but having no destination is not ideal, and they don't want to backtrack, so they're going to head down to the capital. Aki's group, however, is going to head south, then west, and head straight on into the Confederation themselves. Their plan is to end up in Serenus in the next few weeks.
Oh.
Actually, that's not true. Hold that thought, because I'm dumb. They are not going that way. They're going south and then west to Anatolia.
Oh. Well, I'll tell Summer's group that we're thinking about heading kind of northwest to go visit an elven village, and then probably head. Oh yeah. Wait, what?
It's
Northeast, yes. We're heading there to check out an elven village, but then we're going to be headed towards the capital that you guys are going to. So depending on how long you're there, we might see you there.
If we don't get a destination, I assume that's going to be it. It'd be good to see you there. The girls get chummy.
If you see a blondie that looks kinda like me, please be nice to him.
I'll let you know if I do.
Beat him up.
Wait, shit, no, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Wait, what?
I want to spoil it because I want to tell. Wait, can I go up and whisper to Summer's ear? Like, if you do see a little blonde boy named Niles, kind of looks like me. Everybody from where we're from kind of looks like. Tell us on the Sending Stone. He still hasn't told them about the Sending Stone, so I gotta keep it quiet.
I have sending myself, so it's okay.
Oh, that's cool. Sending me if you see him. Also, please treat him nice. He's been walking through a desert for like 2 months. He's probably dying.
Also tell him I want to suck his dick.
I'll owe you one if you treat him to like a nice meal.
Thumbs up.
Okay.
Why hasn't Zoe heard from her?
Because they've been busy.
What the fuck?
Okay, so Summer's gonna let me know if she sees him.
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe.
It's always a maybe. Expecting people to actually keep in constant contact.
Anything else you'd like to say to them?
Oh.
I got nothing.
Ren, you have your duel with Aki. Before or after Zoe is up to you. Nevertheless, that is the thing that you do. You all decide to leave on the same day. So, you gather all your things. All of them are thrown into the carriage you have. Y'all head through the gates and then head your separate ways. No worse for wear. Resuming your journey.
Oh, wait. Could I have said something to Aki's group before they left? Or to Aki? Like, awesome. Zoe still doesn't know about the Sending Stone, so don't say this out loud, blah, 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 blah. But, since you're going into the Confederation before us, if you hear anything about a group named the G-Fang, let us know with the Sending Stone, please.
Alright.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Done.
I appreciate it. Done.
If that is all, though, then that's basically the end of session.
Hell yeah.
Fucking
We're
did it.
going to the elves.
How much money did we get again? I didn't add that.
27.50.
16.
Oh yeah, 816 per person.
816.
Except for Ren, who gets 300.
A 16.
That is indeed the thing. You did it. Congrats.
Did I level up?
You did. You're level 200
Yes.
now.
Josh!
Why does he get
He
to
only
level
has
up
3
like?
HP.
Why does he get to level up like
I give
like
Odd.
50 times?
I
every
give
other session?
Odd 3 gold.
What, why? Oh,
Because
1, 2, 3,
1, 2,
4.
3, 4.
Alright, fair enough, thank you.
I give you 3 gold.
Hey, you can take that off of your IOU.
Sure, go
This
ahead.
is the least. This is the least gold I've had all campaign.
Yeah, how much is
Most
it?
gold I've had all campaign.
Oh, you know. That's confidential information.
Yeah, how much is it, Sherry?
4,000 gold.
Yeah, I'm still at a good clip. This is just...
This is the least money I've ever had. Has 6 figures.
I'm poor, says Jeff Bezos.
I'm poor, says the merchant.
I can only buy 1 Greenland.
Wait, you're buying Greenland? I didn't know it was for sale.
Okay, however,
It is when you got this much money.
for you nerds, please say goodbye, stream.
Goodbye, stream.
Goodbye, stream.